you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. On a Friday, we made it to Friday with Mike and Jay. Big E is here as well. Ladies and gentlemen.
Big E hasn't left, ladies and gentlemen.
He's actually sitting up. There's a microphone near his face.
Wearing the same clothes as yesterday.
No, wearing the same clothes as every day for the last month.
No, it's true.
How many days in a row, E? Seriously, for those pants? Would you have any idea?
No, because they do get washed. Like the piston pants get washed
they
once
do?
a week.
They get washed and
weekend.
folded, and they appear in his bedroom somehow.
On the weekend.
On the weekend, they go through a swift washing.
Yes.
How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm great. I'm outstanding. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. I'd have it no other way. E, how are we feeling?
I'm not even fully 100% right now, honestly.
That's
Really?
amazing, dude.
It's been
Now, some of it's
24
my own
hours.
fault probably for not drinking enough liquids or something, but I just was crashing.
Yeah, the amount of sleep he got after that was
Amazing.
really surprising.
Yeah. You know I broke my first rule, right, E?
Yes.
I broke my first rule, which was E does not stay in the house.
I know.
Do you understand what a difficult decision that was?
I do, but there's no way I could have not.
You know, we sort of have an email on that subject, how
Yeah.
you kind of caved to him. And yeah,
I'm not happy about it.
something occurred to me this morning, says Jeff, as I listen to the best podcast on the interwebs. First off, maybe next time the producer decides to get baked, it might be in the best interest of the show to have a certain nerd on hand to be in his spirit, to be his spiritual Sherpa, so to speak. Secondly, as I heard genuine concern coming from the cult leader, it occurred to me that as you gentlemen reach your golden years, you, sir, meaning me, will have the sweet pie to take care of you. And Gab, as you're yelling,
Oh, no.
"Mother, I'm merging," Russ will probably still be pissed about Halloween that was taken away from him while in his prime.
He'll remember that when he's 50.
Big E and Walters, on the other hand, are probably going to only have each other.
Yeah.
I see a Ray and Pete situation coming down the road for those two. Once it does, we can all look back at the night Big E passed out on the bathroom floor as to when this soon-to-be bromance started. Good eye, Jeff.
That's really unfair.
It's a really good eye, Jeff.
Should we recap yesterday's events
Briefly, only for the reason that I think some of it, if you didn't watch our Periscope.
Why don't I Periscope right now for those listeners, just so they can get an update on what we're talking about?
Okay.
So we're gathering quite a following.
Yeah, this Periscope thing is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can jump on there and see a dude whacking it from anywhere in the world, really, at any time.
And I did that this morning.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, I got up early and I went on Periscope just for a second. And I was like, oh, someone's up in Los Angeles. So that means it's like 4 a.m. I'm like, wow, what's going on there? So I click on it and I just see video from like a belly button down in these little skimpy man panties. And some dude's just rubbing his dick. I'm like,
Isn't the internet wonderful?
and I don't want to touch my screen because I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to encourage this behavior. So I'm trying desperately to hit the X without hearting. I think I might have given him a heart
Well,
for him rubbing his dick. That was the first time, because I've heard people say that, like, oh yeah, I clicked on something and I ran into a hard on some dude jacking it. And I actually ran into that. You know, now he was just rubbing it through his man panties, but it was fucking gross. So avoid LA if you're periscoping.
well, we might be the only ones out there actually periscoping actual content and not just rubbing your titties or rubbing your ball sack.
Right.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Jay. I like your Lions hat.
Oh, it's my NFL hat.
Your NFL hat. Yeah, I forgot. Where are the hearts? God damn it, I want hearts.
Well, you know, maybe they don't like me.
For an update. Oh, now they're hearting like crazy.
Well,
Holy shit.
what can I say?
We're being bombarded with hearts. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good.
Looks like the hearts came at a certain time in the Periscope.
Yeah.
Not when it was held over there.
Look at this son of a bitch over here. He looks like $1 million. Look at him. So let's reset from yesterday what happened.
Yeah, if you didn't watch the Periscope, essentially, I think we braked and he was barfing, right? Like that's when we
Yeah.
called
Well-
the break. I was trying
Well-
to get Periscope going. We were still on the air. He runs into barf.
Yeah.
And then we took a break. And then thereafter, he laid here on the floor. He got back up. He sort of rallied. You played the drums for him. My
Yeah.
name is Ringo, and I play the drums.
That was awful.
My name is John, and I play the guitar. I sometimes play the fool.
That was so bad.
Yeah, so we
rubbing
kind of,
his face.
he had a smelling salt at one point when he was on the ground, passed out.
That was horrible, by the way.
You didn't like the smelling salt?
And then
No.
what'd you have? Like about 3 rounds of running in there and
Yeah,
puking?
probably.
Yeah, we thought about throwing him in the shower.
Yeah.
We tried to help him out in every way possible.
There was nothing you could do though at that point, other than me just sitting there and
Yeah, it was just a time issue. You just
Right.
had to sleep it off. So we resolved, all right, he's dead. Or not dead, but he's out. He's in the bathroom. We need to finish the show. So that's when we came back on and we were continually checking on him.
Yeah.
So if you just listen to the show, you kind of missed all the barfing and
Yeah, it was a really weird day because we got this whatever gummy bear, and E just went, I think I'm going to try it. And we're like, I mean, usually you would think, knowing this group, that this would be something where,
we'd be like, E, open your mouth now. Open
Yeah,
your
just
mouth.
do
And we'd
it,
just shove it
fucker,
down his
do it.
throat.
but it wasn't. It
Not
was
at
really,
all.
it was really odd. Like Jay and I had almost nothing to do with it. I mean,
I
we
was
didn't.
completely indifferent on the subject.
So was I.
Whatever.
I don't think any of us could have foreseen like the what happening. Like we would never intentionally hurt E or do anything to hurt E, anything like that. And so when it happened, it went down, and it was like, okay, we probably have a couple hours or an hour at least before anything happens. Within 10 minutes, he started just the look on his face was just, it was weird because he started giggling at first, and it looked like it was going to be fun.
Well, that's the problem though. It was fun for maybe 5 minutes. And the problem was though, I realized that I look over at the clock and I know we're only 10, maybe 15 minutes into the show at this point. And just because it's hitting hard for me now doesn't mean the potency went away. And I know that it says you got to wait an hour sometimes for this to even hit. And dude, the paranoia just started going like, holy shit, like this is kind of fun right now, but this is going to get stronger. And I could start thinking about it. And then it started getting stronger. And it was, oh my God.
Well, with all that up against you, you handled it well. I mean, like a real champ.
Right.
You did. You pulled through. You rallied.
Dude, I
Give
remember
you credit for that.
I just
He rallied in no way. In no way did you rally.
There was no rally.
I just remember like that one time you wanted me to get the videos and I was over here and like I had to like look at my computer. Like I could not, I don't know how to explain it, man. I just
You weren't
couldn't,
even like you couldn't even reach the mouse over
my
there.
hands felt like they were like
Yeah,
huge.
it was very clear. You were effed up very quickly.
I was wondering what you were seeing, E, because there was no like dealing with the video. What did it look like when you were looking at the screen and trying to do anything?
Lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Dude, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just blurry, like almost like blurry, and like that's why if you notice, I had to like pull myself like right
I
up
don't
to the
like him,
screen
his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
to focus,
Yeah,
and even that really wasn't good enough. But I had to go like right up by the screen.
yeah.
To,
Can I shut this off now?
Yeah.
My arm's getting heavy again. Say bye, Jay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all for the hearts. Really appreciate that. We got tons of hearts. Tons.
That's what we're after.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what life is all about right now.
Some of the
Likes and
comments
hearts.
were stuff like by Bear. When I said he had a gummy bear, they said by Bear, do you mean fat, gay, hairy man?
no,
No femmes, fats, or hairies.
Right.
Righty?
Yeah. So,
Oh, dude, by the way, your ass crack was hanging out all night.
I know, I
have
heard.
you seen the Periscope yet?
no.
Wow.
I will watch it at some point, but
Did you know at one point we weren't actually talking to your dad?
I did. I never was 100% convinced, but I will say near the end, I think you said a few things that I finally was like, he's probably not. But because of the state I was in at the beginning, I 100% thought you were talking to my dad. And it took
Yeah.
a while in the fake conversation, I guess.
Obviously, what happened was, if you listen to that segment, I hope that was clear what was going on. E's dad called during the show, and the phone was sitting here next to me. And so I just saw that dad's calling.
Right.
And so I was like, E, your dad's calling. Should I answer it? And you just moaned from the bathroom, fuck you, no. And so it was on vibrate, so you couldn't hear it ringing.
Right.
And so I just went, hello? And then Jay and I acted like we were talking to him and telling him everything that you were doing.
I
And
told him he did a wonderful job with his son.
I
Yeah.
know, right.
and E's just in the bathroom. We can just hear him going, fuck, dude, no.
My life is so fucked now.
Fuck you, dude.
Oh, I
Hang it
fucked
up.
things up so
Hang
bad.
it up. Don't, dude.
The kind of shit that comes out of a 17 or 18-year-old's
Yeah.
mouth.
Trying to
When they
avoid
got
it.
fucked up and they're at a motel room and they know they can't get home in time to make curfew.
Yeah.
The same sort of shit that
Yeah.
I know.
was happening last
I
night.
know.
That happens.
It was the worst experience of my entire life.
Did you learn a valuable lesson?
I'm not even doing a quarter of that shit again, dude. That was
You want
that
a
taste-
you want a gummy
no,
bear? There's regular ones
No,
over here.
I
Those
don't.
you love those.
I don't want them.
I'll even give you a couple white ones.
That taste, dude, that taste of pot and that thing. Was bad that night was. I don't
Just
think
couldn't get it out of
I don't
your
think
mouth.
I'll be ever able to do it again based on
Wow.
that.
He's like a 16-year-old who drinks a gallon of Jaeger for the first time,
Yeah.
or
It's tequila.
Goldschlager, and then can never touch it again.
Right.
Even the whiff of it freaks him out. So this was
That
probably
is
a
probably
good.
what
This was
happened.
probably a good thing that happened. E. I mean, what kind of anti-drug campaign? That was perfect.
Yeah, that was awful. That was not fun. It was, like I said, it was fun for like 3 minutes. But I think it would have been fun longer too if I wasn't aware enough though that it's gonna start getting like, dude,
Worse.
this is too early for it to be peaking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
whatever.
maybe you dip your toe in next time.
I don't want to. No,
or maybe
dude.
you smoke it next time.
I can't smoke, as I've said.
Hey, speaking of smoking, are you ready to quit smoking once and for all? Great Lakes Vapor is here to make that a reality. Their e-cigs are handmade and guaranteed for life.
Don't mind if I
I'm
do.
going to ask that like a question like E did last night. Their e-cigs are handmade
I'd like to see
and
that.
guaranteed for life.
Oh, it
Check
wasn't
them
good.
out.
Dude,
in
I remember.
person. Yeah, those beady little eyes trying to focus.
Yeah.
Check them out in person off Grand River in Brighton or off Orchard Lake in Farmington, or shop online at greatlakesvapor.com and have everything you need mailed right to your door. greatlakesvapor.com is the best place to order refills of all their GLV juice. Use the promo code DetroitCast and receive 10% off all online orders.
Dare I say, a big show today. Quite a bit to get to. I think it'll be a lot smoother show, more like what you're used to. Yesterday turned into
A disjointed mess.
that was the hardest show we've ever had to do, because honestly, half my head was thinking fuck with E, the other half was
Yeah. Genuinely
geez,
concerned.
like
Yeah.
he's gonna be all right, right? Like you
Right.
can't really hurt yourself from something like that. So it made it really hard to focus on a show.
I emailed our source halfway through and I was like, he's gonna be okay, right? And
Yeah,
the source was like, yeah, just sleep it off and drink
Sleep
a
it
lot of
off.
water.
yeah, he'll be
Okay.
fine. What you guys didn't see too was when we finally finished the show, and then we'll get moving on. Like I was like, E, come on, there's a bed upstairs, not mine. But there's a bed upstairs. Let's
You
just get
snuggled,
you
didn't
up
you?
there. And we did not snuggle
Spoon?
at no point. I realized it wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to get him to the car and convince him to drive down the road like the plan was. So at that point, it was like, okay, I'll just get him to a bed. And so he crawls on his hands and knees up the stairs, and he made it to the kitchen
landing.
level.
Okay.
And he made it to that landing there, the carpet. And I went, come on, E, there's just a little more stairs. You got to go hang a left and we'll go up these stairs, and you're right there. You're in a bed. You got a pillow, a blanket. We'll put your water right there at the table for you. And he's like, dude, I can't go any further. I got to just stay here. And he just curled up and he was crashed on the on the carpet like he was down here. And finally, like an hour later, I was like, E, come on, you can do this, man. Let's just get you upstairs to bed. And finally, he was able to, on all fours, crawl up the stairs.
Well, I must have been doing the show post because I was here when
You were.
you finally went into the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it was late. It was
Yeah.
late. I could be off. Maybe it was a half hour later, but it was quite a while later. And I was like, I can't believe he doesn't want to get into bed. Like, I would think he'd be able to
Yeah.
fight through that. Just get me to a bed.
Dude, I just could not, like when you guys were talking about the shower, I don't know what it was, man, but I could not move. Like or at least in my head, I had it in my head that like my hands were too heavy. I could not lift my body up. Like
Oh, that's a terrible feeling.
it was the worst I've ever felt. To be honest with you.
A lot to get to today. Gene Palmer,
Of
Just Us fame. Yes. Little more coming out there. about what they're planning to do with him. Little update on the Uber attack.
Mm-hmm.
More updates coming
You
in.
got maced, motherfucker.
That guy. We got a savant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are fun.
There's talk of telepathy.
Oof.
I know. We'll see.
Let's explore.
A bow and arrow at a school. Imaginary bow and arrow, excuse me.
Okay.
Imaginary one. Trump on SNL. The Lions. Some big news from
big
the
news.
Lions today. College stabber that happened in Merced, California. University of California, Merced. And a little more coming out on the a story we did yesterday about the cop who they determined committed suicide.
Yeah, the guy near Chicago.
Yeah, Glinowicz. What's the deal with his name, by the way? Because I keep reading Charles Glinowicz and then G.I. Joe Glinowicz. You know, they keep.
It's probably one of those middle names. He went by Joe a lot or something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, they're saying that the wife and son of this guy, they're being investigated as well for possible
you
embezzlement.
mentioned yesterday that 2 other people were being investigated. That's very interesting. How
Yeah.
old's the son?
I'm not sure how old he is.
How do you
I venture
know?
to say.
Well, I'm assuming since
Charles was
G.I. Joe was
52.
52 or
You could have
whatever.
an adopted son.
That'd be in a weird.
He adopted a son twice his age.
That's actually that's the best answer you could have had to that initial statement. I did not see an exit strategy for you.
It's like Mork and Mirth.
there.
Remember those two?
Mork.
Jonathan Winters as
Wait,
Mirth.
was it Mirth? Was that his name?
Mirth.
Oh, I love Jonathan Winters
Yeah.
on that on
He
Mork
was
and
like,
Mindy.
Hello, Daddy. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, didn't he come in an egg?
Yes.
Yeah.
They absolutely. They all come in eggs.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but he was born as an old man and
Yeah.
then decreased from there.
I did not see the exit sign at all on
Didn't
your
see
initial
adoption
statement.
getting him out of that.
No, I did not. In a million years, I would
Well,
not have
he's-
guessed where he could possibly go with that initial joke.
The nimble comedic brain of E is back.
Could have adopted someone who was 53
I
at the
mean,
time he was born.
It's just- you never know, I suppose.
Anyway, you know, he was embezzling funds from the Fox Lake Police Explorer program for like 7 years. Nice dude. Police are investigating whether his wife Melody and son DJ had any part in the embezzling scheme. So they're just looking into it now. If that's coming out, though, I would think they have more
There
than
must be text or something.
there's
that-
got to be, which would make sense. You would think the wife would have some idea of how much money he would make. And then if
Right.
they're going on these vacations and buying shit,
Mhm.
like that money's coming from somewhere. So the Glinowicz family released a statement saying, "Today has been another day of deep sorrow for the Glinowicz family. The family has cooperated with the task force investigation and will not comment at this time. Family requests their privacy be respected as they continue to cope with the loss of their beloved husband and father."
They're desperately trying to continue to portray it as a suicide.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's not going to work, unfortunately. It's believed he knew village officials were conducting an audit on him before he died. They believe 2 others were involved in the scheme, but they have not been named as the probe is ongoing. So I don't know if that means the 2 they're wondering about are totally separate or if that's the son and,
Right.
and the wife. I don't know.
More damning than that, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a report that he was looking into a hit
Yeah.
on the investigator?
Not that it matters. I mean, now at this point he's dead,
But
but
dude, the idea that he was
yeah.
going to be a murderer as well.
Yeah. Detective Chris Cavelli said Glinowicz sent a text in April asking a woman to set up a meeting with a high-ranking gang member to put a hit on this village manager in order to cover up his illicit schemes. The 52-year-old also sent another message in May saying he had thought about planting things with the administrator, Anne Marin, which made more sense after investigators found small packets of cocaine in his desk. So he could have just been into cocaine, though, I suppose.
Could have.
Cavelli said the drugs were not linked to any case that he could find, raising the possibility that the lieutenant sought to frame the manager, Anne Marin, as a drug criminal before she could expose him as an embezzler.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
We never found any explanation why those drugs were in his desk at the police station. Glinowicz sent the text after Marin, the village's first professional administrator, began auditing Fox Lake finances, including the Police Explorers program that authorities now say he had been stealing from for all those years. Investigators did interview the gang member who denied ever talking to him, and they couldn't find any links. So they don't think it went that far where they were able to say, okay, he had a meeting with this guy or anything like. But even the idea that you'd dip your toe into that pond is just incredible.
He was exploring all options. You go so far as to kill yourself. And
he sure was.
Boy. Hey, Zatford wants to go above and beyond to make the TDC family happy. So for a limited time or until it runs out of space, Zatford and Holly will take anything in on trade toward the purchase of a new or pre-owned vehicle, as long as they don't have to feed it. You got a microwave, bring it. Television, done. Blow dryer, yes. The Proops, nope. They need to be fed. So hurry down to I-75 at exit 98 with whatever you have on trade-in for cash when you buy or lease your next vehicle from Zatford.
Did you hear about the student shot dead by police at the
stabber?
Yeah, the University of California.
Muhammad something or other?
Yeah, Muhammad was the last name. And they said
something
he had
or other Muhammad?
Yes, exactly. Falal Muhammad or something. And they say he had much greater ambitions. Earlier today they were saying, well, they've located his backpack they're about to go through his backpack. And so now we know what was in that backpack. And we haven't really talked about this story, so I'll give you guys some background on it. But this guy is Faisal Muhammad. He's a freshman at the University of California, Merced. He was carrying highly flammable petroleum jelly, zip tie handcuffs, night vision goggles, duct tape, and
maybe
a hammer.
He was the rapist.
I suppose that could be a night rapist.
Zip ties, night vision goggles, and petroleum jelly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and a hammer.
A night butt rapist.
Oof. That's not good.
The worst kind.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He was shot in the back by the cops, so he's no longer with us, unfortunately, for him.
Shot in the back. Wow.
Yeah.
Is
anyone going to have a problem with that?
Complain about that?
What'd you say?
Cops are shooting people in the back.
That's kind of yellow, isn't it? It's kind of yellow, that cop.
Oh, right in the back.
How could the cops be in imminent danger if he was shot in the back? Clearly, he was trying to escape from the police, and they murdered him.
That's a good point.
Goddamn rogue cops murdering people in the back
and shit.
Look, I don't know what to say. I mean,
no, go ahead. Finish your thought. You had one there. You had a glimmer of a thought.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, E.
No.
As the crow flies, my
Please,
friend.
the floor is yours. He's still fucked up.
Yes.
He's a mess. Oh, poor E.
I just honestly, all I heard was about the petroleum jelly.
He's still focused on that. I wonder how that would feel.
Man, that would help a lot. I'd hate it dry. Petroleum jelly.
He probably was deserving.
I heard about
like
petroleum jelly and a hammer. It sounded kind of nice.
This guy sounds a little different than the Walker, I guess. So,
which Walker?
That lady.
Maybe a little more probable cause in your mind.
Yeah, it seems a little more, but I don't really know the situation, I suppose.
In reference to the petroleum jelly, Sheriff Vern Warnke said he had a poor man's C4. C4 being the dense putty-like explosive used widely by the military and demolition teams. He had smiled as he used a 10-inch hunting knife to stab two students. 10-inch hunting knife. Oh, that would hurt so bad. A campus construction worker and a female teacher also in this attack that was praised by ISIS on their Twitter account. Police have insisted his attack was based on personal animosities and a vendetta, not a political agenda.
Who said that?
The police are saying that, and school officials are saying that.
Okay.
Yeah. The 18-year-old, described as antisocial by his roommate, was supposedly having fun as he slashed the first student in the throat inside a classroom.
Was it the Fort Hood massacre where they're like, oh, yeah, it was a workplace disagreement?
Yeah, where he cut someone, where he shot all those people. Yeah.
He was just stressed.
No terrorism there.
No, absolutely not. Workplace confrontation. So, yeah, most people do that when they get mad at a coworker. They just bring an AK in and mow down people.
Sure. Make all sorts of Islamic statements.
Right.
Jihadist.
It happens. So he's described as antisocial and having fun while he's doing this. Overhearing the commotion, this construction worker, 31-year-old guy, Byron Price, intervened and was stabbed in the process.
Way to go, Byron. Way to get involved.
Yeah.
Don't run away. He ain't yellow. He
was stabbed in his left side by Muhammad as he tried to stop the attack. He had a smile on his face. He was having fun, which is more what bothers me. Sheriff Warnke said that Price's entrance into the classroom likely prevented the death of the first victim who was attacked. I just kind of kicked at him. It was a really big knife, and he was swinging it down. So I figured if I was on the ground and my feet were at him, he could stab my legs and not my body.
He got like in a cat fight, right? You know how cats fight? Two of them. One will be on the ground.
Yeah,
Put
and
its legs up. Ding, 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 ding.
yeah,
Kind of take that defensive posture.
that seems like the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
Like to get in that kind of position,
As a-
right?
As
Yeah.
a human, as a cat,
Yeah.
that's all they have.
Cats do pretty well in that. I've watched them many
My
times.
cat does it to
Huh.
me.
It's not a bad move.
He drove himself to the house. Go ahead, E. What
Nothing.
were you? What did your
You
I
cat?
got-
said they
You
have
were
those
gonna.
bad claws where they just.
Yeah.
He drove himself to the hospital.
Okay. Well, it couldn't have been that bad then.
Yeah, despite his injuries, he got 9 staples. It's not bad.
I don't know. It's that.
9 stitches. That's it.
Staples,
Oh,
the big ones.
oh.
Hmm.
Guess that's a big.
I guess it's okay.
Muhammad,
Right wound.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
I saw some pictures of it. It didn't look fun. I
Okay.
guess is the best way to describe it. It didn't look fun.
Was it an actual puncture or was it like a slash?
I think it was a puncture.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know.
All
Muhammad
of a
is
sudden you have a hole in your pancreas.
yeah.
Pancreas stuff is just bleeding out.
Ugh.
Pancreas.
Gross.
They say he fled down 2 flights of stairs and outside where he stabbed a female student and a female staff member. The suspect was then shot and killed by police about 35, 40 yards away from the classroom. The attack drew praise, as I said, from the Twitter account of ISIS. May Allah accept him, read the tweet just minutes after his name was divulged by campus authorities. Last week, the same account released a series of videos calling for lone wolf stabbing attacks. However, the college moved to rule out political motive.
Nothing to do with
Are
that.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
Damn, man, you stabbed me in the pancreas.
At this point, it would be irresponsible to draw such conclusions based solely on the ethnicity of the
I'd
suspect.
be irresponsible.
Yeah.
All right, somebody just electronically connect the fact that he saw that tweet, and then let's just be done with that.
Yeah.
We won't have to argue about that anymore.
Yeah.
Look, he favorited and retweeted.
Yeah.
By the way, are all the favorites now hearts?
I think so. I thought, yeah.
Is that only if you sign up for Periscope, or has Twitter?
No, that's a Twitter
Oh,
thing, I
okay.
believe. Yeah. I think this is a tough subject when you're talking about Islamic radicals committing crimes like this in a country like ours. When you're trying to put the pieces together, because it's obvious that people go, oh, what a shock, his name's Muhammad. Oh, didn't see that coming. And for people that are against that viewpoint, it's easy to go, well, every time a white guy stabs a bunch of people, you don't condemn all Catholics, or you don't condemn all white people. And they have a point there, but it seems like the more that is thrown out there in the social media world calling for these attacks, and then when they happen by people that have similar
it's a call
names,
to action.
it's
They're
a call to
responding
action.
a call to action.
Right. So that's why that link is so easy to make right now when you see the same names and the same kinds of people committing these
When the Catholic
atrocities.
Church calls out that we should start stabbing people,
Right.
and then lo and behold, oh yeah, sure,
Yeah,
the
Jay
blonde
Detroit cast. What do you
fucking
know?
Catholic guy.
Oh yeah, you're not Catholic. Never mind.
Stab somebody. Well, then there's a connection. Perhaps.
Right. It seems simple enough, but to declare it a day later, like, oh no, there's nothing that. How the fuck do you know?
A papal declaration in that regard.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, that would be odd. That would be very.
Go in another.
The chancellor said that. Yeah. So Dorothy Leland. I don't know what kind of inside information Dorothy would have at this point.
Dot.
Jim Leland's wife?
I prefer to call her Dot.
Dot Leland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The FBI are currently trying to understand exactly what drove Faisal Muhammad to carry out the attack. Yeah, I wonder. Andrew Velasquez, who lived alongside him in the college dorm, said Muhammad was an antisocial, was always alone on campus. He didn't talk much, and I never saw him walk with anybody. Every time I would try and say something, he would just ignore it. He was rarely ever in his room. Kristen Halliday told
Wouldn't that freak you out, man? You know somebody who just
Totally antisocial like
Right,
that.
just-
Fucking weirdo. Just like, wow, just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would freak me
No,
out.
to the level, dude. To
like
something-
Sweet J.
Right. Elbow
Not to
the
my level, but I'm a social retard.
Yeah.
throat. Correct.
I mean, I still like being social though, even though I don't like minutia small talk. But I don't like being cooped up by myself. Something like this, dude. Some dude, like, you say stuff to him. He's
Yeah.
your college, from college. He just walks by you, wouldn't you be like, holy fuck, dude, this guy's gonna.
Yeah, this guy's off. Something's off.
Sounds
here.
like he's totally ripe for this kind of propaganda. And
I wouldn't be, want to be around him.
because that's what they're fishing for. Guys like that who have no purpose, who want to be part of a bigger tribe.
Yep.
Want people to like them and accept them.
Yep. Kristen Halliday, this freshman there at Merced, said that she and a group of friends were trapped in their dorm room above the scene, and they saw like a bomb squad arrive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they did detonate something. We heard like sirens, and then they said fire in the hole or something, and then it detonated.
Why wasn't this on Snap?
Oh my God! Hold, time out.
Where's
time out.
Where's the story?
Where's my Periscope?
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't be talking about Snapchat when we can do Periscope.
Yeah. Student Lindsay Maraville, who's 19, said, I was in like biology class when a female student ran in. The student was crying hysterically. She came in and said, oh my God, somebody got stabbed or slashed in the throat. And then she ran. That's exactly what she said. Yeah, 8 to 10 inch long weapons. Everyone's expected to survive, so he failed. And then the cops shot him in the back, of course.
Seems like even then
No, you got this.
ISIS is the one who was cool with
Did
it.
you almost say Siri?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
ISIS was the one who was cool with this.
Yeah, they didn't
I'm
seem to
just
have
saying,
a problem with
but
this.
with
I
the
was
people
expecting maybe they would reprimand someone, but yeah, they seemed cool with
No, my
this.
point is with them not killing them. I feel like their tweet saying like let so and so be with them. I don't think they'd want any failures up there.
Well, remember though, the guys in Texas, Texas, right? Where the art thing, the Muhammad.
Yeah. Oh, those
art
guys
thing?
who drove down there, they get out of their car
They
with
had their
AKs,
music jamming. They're like, fuck
They driven
yeah.
all the way from
and the
Utah.
cop just fucking 2 shots. Boom, boom.
Carry on, folks. As you were.
The
They
funniest
got out.
part about that to me
Oh,
is still
hilarious.
that they drove all the way from Utah.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Phoenix.
in
Then
the-
it wasn't Phoenix.
Just
I don't
getting
know.
jacked
Phoenix,
the whole
but,
time.
like-
Fuck yeah, we're gonna fucking
Can you
mow 'em
imagine
down.
them playing like rock and roll? They're all just headbanging or whatever. Just
This
fuck
is our
yeah,
time.
Fuck yeah! Punching each other, getting ready. They get out of the car. Boom, boom.
It was like a Muslim or a Muhammad cartoon
Yeah,
gallery thing or something. right?
exactly. Exactly. The cop was just like talking to his buddy and was like, what are these
That was,
clowns? Are you
Yeah. Two guys in the turret.
Bill, give me hold on a second. Nah, put it away. I got it. Boom, boom. What were you saying, Bill? Finish your thought. Yeah. Did you see the ISIS guy? I think it was yesterday. We had the story. We didn't do it, but dude on his motorcycle. This is the jihadist that I picture. Like if someone like got to Big E's mind and they made him jihadist Big E.
Well, if he sought asylum in Syria, this could happen.
I'm not gonna go to Syria.
But this guy's riding his motorcycle and he's like, fuck yeah, I'm strapped with my bomb. I'm gonna be a suicide bomber. I'm going to meet Allah. I can't wait to get there. And he's just humming down the road and he bumped the button. And before he got to his target, he blew himself in half. And there's video of him laying there
His top
from like
half just
from like
laying there.
not just his top half, like he was wearing his suicide belt like up high or something because it was from like his titties up, and he's just the head laying there, and he's like, "Oh man, what did I do? This stinks."
It wasn't wind and nerve endings at that point.
It might have been. I might be paraphrasing because
Yeah.
someone said he uttered a couple words and his head was moving, and I picture him going, "Did I get anyone? Where's Allah? Is
Where's
he
my
here?"
virgins?
Oh,
His guys are sitting there with binoculars way back going, oh, for Christ's sake, for Allah's sake. Son of a bitch, Biggie. Oh, no, you got to see this. Look, the son of a bitch blew himself in half. But I think they still, like going back to
counts.
it still counts. The Texas
Counts on the
guys
board.
that got shot as soon as they jumped out of their car before
So-
they could grab their guns and were dead, they were like, those guys direct straight there. They're
What?
war-
So it's
yes,
all about
they-
the effort.
it's
That's
about
what-
the effort.
Oh.
Yes,
That's what I
the
was gonna
attempt
say.
counts.
Even with ISIS, even the thought that counts works.
That
Yes.
sucks.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think it's a good play for ISIS because they're about numbers. They don't want to send the message that every big because there's
It
going
has
to be a
to
few
some
biggies.
extravagant thing.
Yeah, there's going to be a few biggies who just
Yeah.
blind squirrel finding a nut that stumbles in and is able to detonate and wipe out some people in a village. So they want to encourage that guy. They understand 9 times out of 10, Big E's going to blow himself in half before he gets to his target mark. But on that one occasion, they're willing to take that.
They want to encourage that. They're
Yeah.
casting the net broadly.
Exactly.
That's a good call.
So I think that's why they do. They're like, oh yes,
We'll
include
let
him
you
too.
into.
Fuck yes, Allah can't wait to meet you, Muhammad. Jesus Christ, Biggie, he's first on his list of to-do list today. Muhammad, Allah can't wait to meet you. So,
Dude,
yeah.
Amazon link. Please use it out there. It's a great way to support the show. Don't have to take money out of your pocket, although you can. There's a donate button on our website as well, detroitcast.com. There you will see, however, an Amazon link that takes you directly to Amazon. If you shop via our link, we receive a little bit of a kickback. So please do so.
It's greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Now, Jay, I noticed you're wearing your NFL hat.
Yes.
It's not, I don't see what team you represent, but you're an NFL fan.
Mhm.
And are you guys back? Are you starting to eke back into the Lions world with the exciting news today that
I mean, wow. Is this encouraging?
Tom Lawand, the president of the Lions, and GM Martin Mayhew blown out?
That had to be really hard for them to do, Lawand.
Yeah.
Being such a family.
Well, yeah, his dad has represented that family for decades.
Yeah.
And, Tom had been with them for
For
probably 20 years, right?
yeah.
So that had to be tough.
They've both been there for a long time.
Yeah, Mayhew was the deputy of our buddy Millen.
Yeah. Yep.
And
His first
by the
draft
way,
was Stafford, right? Wasn't that his first draft?
I can't say I don't remember or not, but
Like under his rule.
he started out
Millen
pretty well.
drafted
He pulled off the Roy Williams trade with Dallas. And
Yeah,
kinda
that was
fleeced them for a
insane.
second rounder or something.
Yeah.
And so I think he started out okay. Most people were supportive or
Yeah.
at least willing
Encouraging,
to
for
see
sure.
what would happen. But dude, if you look at the draft picks, that
Was
just haven't
Pettigrew
panned out-
part of that initial draft too?
Maybe
Wasn't-
not the initial one, but
I thought Pettigrew
soon
was part
after.
of that Stafford one, like first, second round.
I don't.
Like first round, obviously Matthew, and then Pettigrew.
if we only had a Google machine in front of us.
I don't remember his fucking name.
Brandon Pettigrew.
Yeah.
I think he was. Don't hold me to that. Anyway, they Martha Ford took the podium today at 90.
That's the only problem, though. What you're
Pretty
about
damn
to,
close.
She is.
What you're about to say right now is the only thing that's weird because it took from being an awesome announcement and like, oh my God, they actually at least did something. And I think this what she did
Big missed opportunity.
took a
for them.
lot away from
Yeah.
it.
Well, in what way?
They cut the legs out of their big announcement. That was going to be encouraging the fans, like, wow, we're making big changes. And then they prop this 90-year-old chick up there.
She
Yeah.
Who
reads
clearly
for-
only owns the thing because her husband happened to die.
Mm-hmm.
Has no interest in football. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Clearly the thing was written by someone else. She stands up there. She reads like a 1.5-minute statement.
Yeah.
2-paragraph thing.
and it's
And then
done.
takes 0 questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on, put somebody up. If
Ridiculous.
she's not comfortable with that, and I understand if she's not, she's 90. But put somebody up to answer some damn questions.
Yeah.
Just something. Again, it's like see,
What,
that's the
what,
problem. You
can,
ask-
what can she say, though?
But here's the
I
thing.
mean, what
real
can you
quick.
say
But here's the,
She
with a
can't
1-in-7 franchise? Yeah, and what's a 90-year-old bird gonna
Yeah,
say?
she
okay, but
can't
Mike,
say
here's the thing. You say I ask if you're back on. I went again as a tip of everything with the Lions. This is the problem with the Lions. All the fucking there's always one. It feels like it's 1 step, 2 steps back. You hear that announcement, I was like, it actually was the only thing today that made me start to like hearing that on the radio really
perked you up.
helped me a little bit when I was feeling really, really shitty.
Yeah.
And it was like it was something almost that was positive. And then you hear the press conference and you just think like, dude, it just shows no. Can't they just answer some fucking questions? Come out there to read a paragraph and just walk back, 0 questions, 0 answering what's going on in the future, who's making the decisions. We really don't know who's making the next hire. They make this announcement before the presser today, where they say
Yeah.
the daughter is going to take a more active role in the team. What does that mean? They
Yeah.
don't explain what it means.
And why is Bill Ford Jr. like
What is his deal?
off?
Is he not? Is he like?
It sounds like he would have
Is he in
taken
timeout?
a bigger role if they wanted to, and the family decided against that.
That's
Like,
what I was
what's
gonna
that
say.
all about?
Is he in the doghouse?
Without him,
or-
we'd probably still have Millen here. That's the fact. If it wasn't for him coming out and
Dude,
saying, if I was running the team, I would have fired Millen.
He was huge in bringing Millen here.
yeah, true.
Remember, everybody wanted him to step up and do
But-
something
But if he
instead of
didn't
the
make
old
that,
man.
but if he didn't
Yeah.
make that statement on that radio show on that Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was, I remember him going on whatever
Wasn't
show
he
it
coming
was.
out of league meetings or something? Or maybe it was a radio show. I don't remember.
I thought it was a radio interview personally.
Okay, maybe
But-
you might be right.
Well, either way, he made a statement that day, and if he doesn't make that statement, I don't think Millen was going to be fired that week.
And the fact is, league wide, everybody loved that move at the time. I don't really fault them. I fault them for hanging in for 5 years while he's playing. Millen's playing every Tuesday. He's having sit downs with old man Ford to show him game tape.
Yeah.
To this 90-year-old man. Seriously, that's what you're doing in the NFL?
No, that was
Which strung that on for way longer.
That move. Don't forget that. People did.
Yeah.
Even fans who were desperate for them to do something different. That was the first different thing they'd done in decades. Like, okay, wow, thinking out of the box. Awesome. This guy, by all accounts, was a winner as well. He obviously was a winner as a player, and by all accounts, he knew what he was talking about.
Yep. And he talked well.
Yeah.
Yep.
He talked a good game and clearly was one of the most incompetent fucking front office people in the history of sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they held on to him, like you said, for years after
5
that
years,
became
was it?
very obvious.
We've talked about it too much probably already, but when that re-up of Millen's contract happened, I just remember I walked out of that. I was still when I had my season tickets, and I went to the game with Chubbs that day, and I walked out of the game and just fucking out loud, just like, are you fucking, like, almost as loud as I could, like, not as loud, but very loud outside at the stadium.
Did you have a sign or a painted face or something? I thought I remember you having a sign in the stadium.
No, I didn't, but I did have an issue one time getting into the stadium with my Fire Millen shirt on. I had an usher telling me I wasn't going to be allowed to go in the game. And I said, why? And he's like, we can't have that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's just a shirt that says Fire Millen.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, Millen tries to play this role. If anyone ever saw that special they did on the NFL Network, or he really still, I think, tries to play this just kind of aw shucks boy role. Like, I'm
what? Just a guy who I wear a Three Stooges tie.
Right.
If I have to put on a tie, I've got my Three Stooges tie, and my sneakers.
Right.
And shut up.
And the thing is,
fucking asshole.
That Fire Millen, how big that got, in my opinion, as big as it got. I've never proven it. I don't know. I have no media ties, so I guess I don't know. But dude, I always remember the very first dude that did it. Remember it became a big deal because the security started chasing him around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that is what made the Fire Millen so big. If one dude just has that sign, I think eventually it picks up some steam. But not like when they on Fox TV.
Yeah.
They have security guys. And I will always be convinced that the reason an usher would ask me not to bring that shirt in is because Millen, on some level, was telling people, I do not want. And that just drives. But my point is to his whole, oh shucks, I'm just a regular. Fuck you.
Yeah.
He pissed you. He tried to make the joke. Remember with his daughter, he's like, oh, when I woke up on Christmas and there was a Fire Millen sign on the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. I don't care anymore, though, of course. No emotions towards the Lions at all.
Basically, she said, we are very disappointed with the results of the season so far and believe a change in leadership was necessary. I want to assure our fans that we intend to identify and hire the very best leadership in order to produce a consistently winning football team. Our fans deserve a winning team, and we will do everything possible to make it a reality. I also want to make it clear that we have no intention of giving up on the season.
She has to say that.
Yeah, maybe.
She has to.
We expect our team to compete, improve, and win. Now, in her defense,
how old is she again?
She's 90.
What if that lady could have been there to?
What could she have done before this point? Is this not fast enough? After a 1-3 start, should she have started dropping the hammers on people?
No, you know what, dude? That's the point. What we said earlier, that if she just honestly just asked to field a few questions, because I think this
like
does
Jay
show
said,
stuff.
No one believes that she's a football mind.
That's
that
fine.
She's capable of doing
that's
that.
fine then. But clearly she has a lot to say, and I do think it does say something, because I do think the old man would have at least waited till the year's done. I think it says something that she said, let's just freaking move on now. I think that's a positive for sure. Because why wait?
And now
they had to be gone, right?
And now you don't have the guys there that were guiding this whole thing. Your president, your GM, like those guys are gone now. So who is she going to? Who is helping to pick the next guys for her? And you mentioned
Drew Sharp wrote a thing this week saying that the NFL ought to put them in receivership, so to speak.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't just do that. You'd need buy-in from the owner for her to come to the NFL and say, hey, I need help with this.
Which you guys were talking about the other day, that's been offered before. And I think they should absolutely take them up on that.
Yeah.
Why
I think it's been offered. It was offered to the old man, though, and he was like, that's my team.
Yeah, well, he's dead.
I know,
so
and that's my point.
I
think there's a chance that, but there does seem to be a chance that Martha would be more willing to do what's better.
Yeah.
And I think getting rid of these guys midseason is a sign of that. Maybe it could have been a few weeks earlier, but the old man would never have done this, I think, midseason like this. And I do think that's a positive.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, I don't know if it's confirmed, obviously just what I heard on radio, but I heard from Drew Sharp, or one of the writers, that there was rumors that who was the G? I forget which one was the GM and which one was the
Mayhew was the GM.
There was rumors that he was still in contact with Millen once in a while.
Oh, no way.
What do you think about second round? What would you do?
And this is alleged,
which
but
wouldn't be totally unbelievable if you think about who brought who in.
Exactly.
Like,
it's alleged, but it came from a right. I think it might have been Drew Sharp, or one of the guys that's actually fouls for the media. So he said
who's got an inside.
There was some rumors that he was in contact with Millen here and there about. God damn it! Wouldn't that just make you want to pull your brains out?
What does this do to Matt Stafford?
Who knows? It completely depends on who comes in, and I guess there's a small chance someone could come in and keep Caldwell.
I find it hard to blame Caldwell or Stafford, I know, I don't know. It's hard to not blame them. But when you look at the season, I know you guys haven't watched much of it, but when you see this season, there is a humongous difference in watching this Lions team versus anything I've seen in Stafford's career.
Humgoras,
yes. A Humgoras difference. Stafford is absolutely under siege back there. So, I don't care. You could have Joe Namath back there in his prime. There's nothing you can do if you can't get to your third step of a 3-step drop without guys on you. What are you going to do?
Why'd you pick Joe Namath there?
Because I was going to say Montana, and then I was like, it seems like I always pick a 49er, and I didn't want to say that. So.
Oh, what with it? I mean, under his.
I know it's right there in my face. I
just don't think Joe Namath was the greatest example.
Well, who should I have gone with?
Brady.
Okay.
Rodgers.
Hoke or
yeah. This is Michigan, okay? I'm gonna quarterback this franchise back to the Super Bowl. And they fired Caldwell and they brought in
Brady Hoke, and he's gonna play quarterback for the Lions.
This is Michigan, okay? I'm still in the state of Michigan, okay? Okay. We're going to make the Lions great again.
Now, what is he now? Donald Trump doing Brady? Brady Hoke doing Donald Trump?
So what do you guys, what's your gut say? Is it time for a new quarterback here? Because
dude, it's hard to blame. He has so much guaranteed money.
But not after next year.
I don't think that's the
not next year.
Still a ton.
He has no guaranteed money after this year. Now, if they do cut him,
cap hit.
Yeah.
Dude,
$22 million.
When your team is as decimated as it is, I don't think you can take the cap hit that you would have to take, like an $11 million or something for a couple of years. That's brutal.
Yeah, I know.
But someone say, well, he's brutal. So who knows?
What? Who gives a shit?
It's just a cycle over and over and over. And I can't believe anybody still cares.
Yeah, well, people do, especially around here.
There's freedom, people.
It is funny that the last thing
I can offer you freedom.
I don't want freedom.
Before last night's show, obviously, I didn't say much, but the night before was the night that you asked me, you'll be back next year, and I said the only way would be as if these two were gone for sure, and so that is one way.
Well, there you go. So you've given yourself, you're back in.
I've given myself,
you're back in.
But you know what, though? I'll be willing to jump off faster than I ever have before. I think I think at the beginning of the year, I'll be excited for the beginning, but I will be more willing than I've ever been to jump off.
My biggest advice is just to be a reasonable consumer.
Right.
If they're not worth your time, then don't spend the time on it. If it's worth it and it's enjoyable to you, then watch them.
I'll say this, dude. This is a telling tale too. My mom was mentioning Christmas, which I haven't asked for stuff in years because of my living situation, but she still always asks. So whatever.
Your living situation? What do you mean?
The fact that I don't live at home or that I live with my parents at 31. Yes, I think you're very familiar with the situation. But she asked me if I wanted any jerseys this year, and I kind of, dude, there's
hold on. You're okay. Let's say you're 31,
which I am.
Your mother is asking you for Christmas. What are there any sports jerseys you like this year?
And you know what?
And as a
what's he gonna ask for? A new
man,
briefcase, Jay? I mean, seriously. What do you get the man who has
Big
everything?
E, your briefcase, sir.
No,
That dude's name is Big E. You're right. He doesn't need a briefcase.
but I would like to have one though, just for the. That's
Yeah,
why I
the
like,
normcore look of it.
No, that's why I just like the idea of having papers in something, and like Kramer almost, where he has the crackers in there. But the point is, my mom asked me about
a
jersey, and dude, there's not a local. I think this is telling on all the teams. By the way,
Tell her you want a Millen 54 jersey.
There's not a local sports team jersey right now that I could say like there's. We don't. I feel like
Pistons. You want
Pistons
a
have that
Pistons
newer player, I guess, but you still never know.
Stanley
What about
Johnson.
the Red Wing?
The new wing, I guess, but there's not a guarantee right now. There's not that one jersey that anyway. And the point is, this would be a prime opportunity to get a new Lions jersey. I really need one, and I said no.
I could sell you one of mine.
I like new ones with the names on them.
Yeah, he doesn't need Charlie Batch, number 10.
I already
Dude,
have
I've got a
Batch
Stafford.
jersey.
I've got an official Stafford jersey and an official Calvin jersey.
I actually used to have. Right now I have a Johnson, and I actually lost my Stafford jersey at a bar after the 2011 playoff game.
How does the jersey come
I
off
know,
you,
dude?
Well, here's what we were at the
Like,
sports.
seriously, were you wearing shoulder pads underneath them? Like, why would you take your jersey off?
Ty and I had gone to the sports bar to
Oh,
watch
boy.
the game, and
Oh, now I know why
Oh.
the clothes were off. Oh, okay. Say no more,
Pretty
Big E.
obvious.
We got it.
and
I
then we
get
went,
it. There was just a heap of clothes on the floor in the end. I got it.
No. And then we went to a club after, and like I felt like
Got to look a little more dressy
I
at the
shouldn't be
club.
wearing my jersey trying to pick up the ladies at the club.
So
So
you
I
took it off, and there's your Simpsons shirt underneath.
I don't know what I was wearing underneath, but I tossed my jersey just on the floor behind the bar ATM, and then it was gone at the end of the night.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
You tossed your jersey on the floor behind the bar ATM. God, you're a retard.
That was 5 years ago or
It
4
happens.
years ago.
Hey, who wants to drive around looking at houses in the snow? There's still time to find your own Fady Manor before winter weather hits. Call Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban, and she will get you into the home of your dreams before the holidays arrive. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900.
See, there's some fresh outrage and protesting going on with
Trump.
Trump. Yeah.
Dude, there was no outrage or protesting when Hillary went on SNL.
Yeah, but she didn't say anything.
Well,
yeah. The
no protests against liars or
Right, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
so
you would
those who tell falsehoods.
how pathetic too. You want him to cancel his appearance on NBC.
Weavers of tall tales.
Yeah. Don't they understand what this does? A story like this in the press does for an episode like that.
I gotta be honest.
That's like the greatest
Right.
news you can have.
Yeah.
Oh, there's protesters and they're getting media coverage. Wow.
Dude,
And they're having Trump on.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, there's probably people that even though because you guys do this, obviously, I know more than I would have even known normally. I bet there's people that wouldn't have even necessarily known he was going to be on
Totally.
SNL.
Yeah.
Totally.
And now, wow, if the ratings weren't going to be big before, now everyone knows he's on SNL this weekend.
It's shameful for SNL and NBC to think that racism can be repackaged as comedy, said Juan Escalante.
Dude, what about any comedian they've ever had on as a host?
Yeah.
Almost all of them have told dirty jokes. Now there's some clean ones, but
And what's the racist part, by the way?
It's-
By saying I don't want illegal
Right.
immigrants breaking into the country
is
and
that-
coming in illegally.
Right.
Like, where is the racist?
Yeah, they keep going back to his first statement where he he said, murderers and stuff like that. Oh my God, he's likening
Rapists and murderers.
Hispanics to murderers and rapists. He's calling
Yeah.
all Hispanics like, okay, are we going to play this gotcha game? I
Yeah.
guess we are.
Yeah, because that's not what he was saying.
Of course not.
Not even close. His point was they're not sending us their best. They're sending criminals and rapists and some good people too. I'm sure they're sending some good people too.
I employ many of them.
Yes, I employ tons of them.
I would love to know how other countries, like in this country, this thing where we are
You
so
almost said
worried.
idea, didn't you?
I know.
You're
I'm trying to stop that.
Notion.
How we treat
Go to
how we
Notion.
treat
Notion's
illegal
good.
aliens. It's like we have to be careful. That's racist, like you said.
Yeah.
I would love to know how other countries, if we just plopped in other countries and just said, "Yep, I'm here, and by the way, I'm not leaving," and oh well.
Yeah. And put me on Social
And
Security.
then the minute they say something, you're like, "Oh my God!"
And I want a
Like,
license too.
Right.
I want a driver's license. So
I want everything.
deal
Just-
with that.
and I don't care about how I get it. You know,
I'm not speaking your language either. Fuck off.
Fuck
and I know
you.
that's, you know, to
I know
some
you don't
extent,
understand
that
that.
sounds like that. To some extent, when I'm there, sounds like that kind of maybe hillbilly kind of guys, like, if you don't, like it, get out. But I don't mean it like that. I just would be very interested, like these people who get so upset over it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's
find out how other countries work. You know,
Right.
We refuse to keep silent in the face of alarming declarations of the candidate for Mr. Trump, Senior Trump.
Mang.
His hate speech appeals to the lowered passions like xenophobia, machismo, political intolerance, and religious dogmatism.
Shut up. Read that again. From xenophobia on.
Passions like xenophobia, machismo, political intolerance, and religious dogmatism.
Nice.
Mang.
What a great sentence.
Trump said he was pleased to hear demonstrations are already underway. Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets the ratings game totally. Look, I think they should demonstrate. Ratings will go even higher than they're going to be already. It's going to be one of their highest rated shows ever, and they're very excited about it. Asked about the petition. It's going to make it even hotter. Great relationship. I have great relationships with Hispanics. They love me. He was on CNN's New Day with Chris Cuomo, and Cuomo was like, I'm surprised NBC booked you for this. He said, I thought you were at war with them. And then all of a sudden they wanted to have you on. You say it's because of ratings. You're never at war when you get great ratings with a network, okay? Nobody gets ratings like me. He went on to say he was initially, and that's the thing. People think it was an NBC thing. Well, the NBC fallout he had was with his show and The Apprentice and all that.
That wasn't
like that has nothing to do with Saturday Night Live airing on NBC and inviting him to be a guest participant because they're looking for ratings.
Right.
So it's not like he's not getting paid for his appearance on SNL. So anyway, so people outraged, of course, over that.
Dude, it's funny with all that. Am I wrong? Maybe I don't know if we've brought this up before, but I feel like at this point, dude, they would man, if there was some Hispanic workers that worked for any of the Trump empire that were really felt shittily treated,
they'd be front and center right now, wouldn't they?
They would be searching as hard as they could.
Gloria Allred would be sitting there with about 20 of them in their stupid office talking about them.
So I suppose he's pay, but dude, the idea that he would pay off, what's he going to every Hispanic worker under the Trump thing?
Thousands of workers.
Right. So it just feels like, he's like,
maybe it's a non-issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It does feel like that.
See Bernie Sanders too.
What an asshole. Okay, so
dude,
he's in the first Democratic debate and he neuters his campaign when he comes out and says, I'm sick of hearing about her damn emails, Hillary's emails.
Like the American people, we're all sick of hearing about her damn emails.
That's the one issue. That's it.
It's a
You're going
major
to be
one.
president.
She's got 52%. 52% of the country thinks she's an absolute bullshit liar.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
Maybe it is.
But anyway, that's his one thing that he has on her, that if he wants the nomination,
it's a trump card, so to speak.
He has to use that card. And
who cares if she's sick of it, by the way? Who gives a fuck?
Right. Well, no, he said he was sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. And now he's back pumping these emails. What an ass.
It's a dramatic departure from the assist that he gave her at that debate when he blared that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails. He explains, you get 12 seconds to say these things, as if that was the problem. He just didn't have enough time. So that's what you chose to say, you moron? There's an investigation going on right now. I did not say end the investigation. That's silly. Let the investigation proceed unimpeded. So,
okay.
So, yeah.
Can we put this back on the table? I just realized it's the only way I can defeat her.
Yeah. I thought I was kicking ass and rolling.
Yeah, I got an awesome soundbite after that debate, but then didn't come together.
Everybody agreed it was way better for Hillary than for me. So can I take it back? Can I have a do-over?
Mulligan.
Do we do mulligans in United States politics, please? Anyway, yeah, so.
Hey, starting right now and running through Saturday, November 14th, you can save an additional $500 on every pre-owned vehicle at Zott Ford and Holly. It's super simple. Go to ZottFord.com, search their pre-owned inventory, select the vehicle you want to buy, subtract $500 off the already low internet price, and that's what you pay. This is only for TDC family and only good until Saturday, November 14th. If you snooze, you lose.
I wonder if he came out and said that, how that would go. If he just came out and said, you know what? I said that in the debate. I realized that was fucking stupid. It's my only
I have more respect for him if he did that.
Like, I just wonder what people would say. He's like, you know what? Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah,
her
that was-
emails are a big deal, and she's lying, and I do care.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't
You
know.
get picked apart by the
Yeah.
talking heads. Oh, that's what
So
kind
what-
of judgment is that?
Yeah.
Are you gonna
So
get a
what do we
do-over
believe?
when we right?
So do we have to wait 2 weeks before we get the real Bernie Sanders and get the truth out of him? Yeah, they'll pick it up.
What happens if you
yeah.
misspeak to Putin?
Yeah.
Then what? Will he give you a mulligan?
Yeah.
I
But-
just felt like maybe that was his only hope at this point.
Yeah.
No, you spin it
Yeah.
like he's doing.
Just Us.
Yes.
Gene Palmer.
Yeah.
Now-
front man, right? Or not? No, he's
lead guitar.
Lead guitar.
Yeah, it does some backing vocals. I don't know if I'd really call him a lead guitarist, but that's what Just Us calls him. So we'll go with that.
Got Keith Bushy handling the rhythm section.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, Bushy's great. Floyd Chambers is in there. Man in the bass, I believe.
What else do we have? Keith. I thought Keith was man in the bass. I thought the rhythm.
Keith
section
Bushy
was-
is the drums.
Oh, I know, but I thought we had another.
Oh, was there?
Keith.
Yeah, you might be right. There were two Keiths.
Keith
We've
Moon?
got
Oh, no.
Keith Collins
Keith
on
Moon.
bass.
Yep. Keith
Shut
Moon.
the fuck
Keith
up.
He's on
Collins
bass.
on bass.
Shut the fuck
Keith
up,
Bushy,
damn
of
it.
course. You shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Gene Palmer, of course, on lead guitar. Joe Holland,
I can't believe you remember all these.
lead vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Wow,
when you
that's
listen as
crazy
long as I
memory.
have.
Really?
Yeah, we hardly listen to Massey in the studio
there a
anymore. It's
webcam?
really Just Us that we listen to almost exclusively now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I just like the sound of my own voice.
Gene Palmer, I did get that, but I'm just gonna let that go.
All right.
I see what you did there. Gene Palmer admitted giving Horse Dick and David Sweat tools and access to a catwalk at the Clinton Correctional Facility, but said he never knew they planned to break out.
Huh. Just thought they were gonna have a good old time back there.
Yeah. I mean, why would you think? I mean, unless they told you we're going to break out. I mean, they're murderers. They're in a max security prison, and you're giving them hacksaws and screwdrivers and access to the catwalk that would lead to the outside. But
Gene didn't want to speculate.
Yeah. Okay.
Not into speculation and
fair.
conjecture.
So he was arrested on charges of promoting prison contraband, tampering with evidence, official misconduct. He was released on bail, as we know, in June. He waived his right to have the case heard by a grand jury yesterday, and his attorney entered a not guilty plea for him. So he's still out on bail. He's suspended without pay right now.
But he is able to make Pat and Karen's wedding coming up, which is great. Their reception. So
Absolutely.
Just Us will appear as a full team,
Yeah, it's
the full roster.
as far as we can tell. We've, believe it or not, Jay and I have tried to make some contact with some members of the band, and
They're a tough group to get a hold of.
well, when you're on the road as much as Just Us is, you don't have
Totally.
time for the little guy like us. So we'll keep working on it.
We will.
We're doing our damnedest. That's all I can say with that. But yeah, that's interesting though that he would provide them with this contraband and access to the catwalk, but at least he didn't know they were trying to break out, because that would have been, we could be out a original lead guitarist
You
from the
kidding
band
me?
Just Us, if that was the case. So
Big hole.
yeah. Why don't we take a quick break? E, if you can get us set up for that.
We'll collect our thoughts.
Yeah, we'll collect our thoughts. I got to tell you guys about this outrage at an Ohio Catholic school.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, so we'll deal with that, and also a little boy on the spectrum, and there's perhaps talk of telepathy. Oof. We'll get into that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast. The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zod Ford and Holly. People always ask me, can you get me the friends and neighbors discount? For a limited time, the answer is yes, I can. You see, Ford employees have a special deal they can give their friends and their neighbors. Now we're making it available to everyone. During this rare opportunity, the low price you pay could be hundreds, even thousands lower on almost any Ford car, truck, or SUV. No hassle, no joke, and no time to waste. Stop by Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98, select a new Ford of your dreams, and let the hottest sales staff in Oakland County give you their friends and neighbors discount. It's that easy. Oh, and mention Bobby effing Gallagher sent you and receive a TDC t-shirt signed by the boys.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, is here. And just reliving a little bit of our Periscope video from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty lengthy.
It's very lengthy. I have a feeling it's going to disappear probably in the next hour, would be my guess. Because that was almost 24 hours ago.
Oh, is that what it is? It's a day?
I think they last a day.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it was really long. We Periscoped almost the entire break yesterday for people that were watching. We had quite a few viewers last night at one point, and we were off for like an hour in the middle of the show, where usually we'd be gone 15 minutes or something. And I think that video was almost 40 minutes long of just us.
Well, not just
us, but just the three of us watching E,
trying to help him rally.
Yeah, we were doing our
best.
best. Yeah, we were doing our best to help him rally.
You know, I do want to say before we move on, that I should have said earlier, when I opened up my computer finally today, I got several messages and comments about people kind of laughing but asking if it was okay today, and I do appreciate it. That some of the people, that was cool that people would care at all. So
yeah, they did.
I just want to say, like, that was cool to see, like 7 messages or something of people saying like, "Hey man, that was funny, but are you know,
yeah, are you okay? Are you alive?"
So that was cool.
No, I woke up at 7:00 this morning, dude, and usually I would just go right back to bed for a little longer. And I jumped up and was like, "Is E still going to be in my house?" And you weren't in that bedroom. You'd migrated back down to a couch. I don't know why you did that. But
was going to make a solid effort to try to get out of here, and I felt it was one of those situations where when I'm laying down, I felt okay, but the second I got up, like I started walking down your stairs, dude, and I still was just like, I just almost fell onto your couch because I just could not walk anymore.
So what do you do about the bed and the couch that he?
It's a fair question. Well, the comforter's got to go. I mean, luckily he didn't move.
I did hold off on self-pleasuring myself. So
thank you. I
did not
appreciate
happen
that.
in this house.
And he didn't get under the covers. He just literally laid on top of the bed in full clothes. He didn't, like, I think he was still wearing his shoes. And he just like fell onto the bed, and that's where he was. And so when I went up there, I was like, "Oh, E made the bed." And I was like, "Oh no, E didn't make the bed. E just plopped down on
a body mark."
Dude, I just remember
exactly
when you put me into the bed. Dude, it was so bad. That was the worst experience I've ever had in my life. More than even times I've been really, really drunk. But I just remember I didn't even have time. I didn't even want to take the time to lift up the covers. The effort was so hard.
That's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
It was
that was too much work even.
It was bad. And I think Jay had the best of intentions throughout that video.
Absolutely.
Like he was peppering you with question after question for 40 minutes. And you just wanted him to stop and shut the fuck up so bad. And you couldn't really vocalize that. And, you know, there was some miscommunication, clearly. Jay was trying to help. He didn't want the help.
Definitely trying to help.
Yeah, and it went on and on and on. And it was just this constant battle for 40 minutes. It was tough to watch. But
I don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Speaking of beady little eyes, look at this proops.
Oh, this is the Savant, right?
Yeah.
And that's a boy, huh?
That's a boy.
Huh.
What?
That's a boy, dude.
Dude, I haven't watched the video, but when I was pulling it from that thing, I think what everyone would think.
Well, yeah, this is a 5-year-old savant who is apparently displaying signs of telepathy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't we just discuss telepathy the other day in the context of Aquaman and his powers?
We did. Yes.
Yes, of course, he communicates with fish and other sea creatures.
Mm-hmm.
While this individual, with humans?
With mom.
Okay. Oh, with mom.
Mm-hmm.
Just mom.
Right.
Okay.
Who's kind of wants...
How convenient.
Yeah. Who kind of wants her titties on display, I think.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Where they living? What's the deal here?
They're in Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
There was a picture I saw of her, the mom, and I was like, "Oh, nice that you've got your titties on display."
Nice that you have your kid like with braided hair. I mean, what?
Yeah,
this is a boy, right?
Does he have a handful of her tits too? Look at that.
Yeah. Huh.
Looks like he's goosing his mom's tits. Yeah, there's something weird going on here, but he's being studied by scientists after his mother posted videos of him online reciting random numbers written in secret. His name's Ramses Sagina.
God, he's a grody looking little dude, isn't he?
Yes.
Does he look like a shrew?
Yeah, there's something weird. Well, he's
You almost better hope he is.
he's on the
Like,
spectrum.
because
It's shrew like.
this is his only hope with those looks anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he's learning 7 languages and solving complex math equations, and was filmed seemingly demonstrating telepathy at his home in LA. And the footage of the youngster, who's quote high functioning form of autism,
Mhm.
which we're very familiar with.
Well, high is
yeah.
relative, and
Sure. He correctly recounts the value of suits of playing cards. So mom's like holding the playing cards, like what
mom is.
Yeah, and he's
not
like
3, not a disinterested third party, but mom.
Right.
Okay.
Are you suggesting that she might have some other motives or other reasonings?
Oh no, no.
I'm sorry. Do you see? I'm not even kidding. Do you see a little bit of Big E in that face, in those eyes?
The turned down
Let me
eyes.
see.
Yeah,
Just
they're
like-
beady.
I don't know.
There's
I swear to God.
a beady quality to them.
I mean, if you were 5, if we could see you at 5,
I think
there's a soullessness to those eyes, right?
Yeah,
Shark doll-like
yes.
almost.
Yes.
Do you see it?
Like he's just looking through you.
I thought what you were gonna say is when we talk about this whole thing of the Bruce Jenner and transgender, like, oh, I think I should have been a girl, or this boy might have an argument for thinking
Yeah.
that she should.
Take your glasses off real quick, just for a second. Oh, put them back on. Put them back on.
Yeah.
Put them back on. Oh shit.
Hmm.
Beatty.
Oh my God, God.
What did he do?
He just opened them wide,
Yeah.
and wide is relative.
Wow. Yeah.
God.
Dude, that was the biggest thing when it came to, like, I at one point did try to do contacts, and that was the biggest thing. Like,
You couldn't open your eyes wide.
I've
God, he's
got
got these little slits.
I've also gone in on eye exams, and the last time I think they finally got me able to do it, but that one where you have to hold your eye open
And they puff the
and
air.
puff you. I've
Glaucoma
had
check.
times before when they just said, I'm sure you're fine. Moved on.
They can't even get the puff in there.
So this Dr. Powell, this neuroscientist, Dr. Diane Powell, former faculty member at Harvard,
Okay.
is now studying Ramses as part of a cutting-edge research project into telepathy. She believes that telepathy may represent an alternative method of communication between autistic children and their parents who desperately want to communicate with one another but can't. Is that so? She's
Okay,
saying that
so
if
then
you're on
they-
the spectrum, there's a chance that
I mean, okay. They can't. They desperately would like to communicate with each other, but they can't. So therefore, they engage in telepathy. Okay.
E, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 1 million. What is it?
669.
Holy shit.
I'll be damned.
That's a fluke.
69.
Try again.
I almost went with just regular
Jay,
69.
think of
but
a number between 1 and 1 million.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
E? Give it a guess.
666,000 with a 9 at the end.
No. 4 for 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
There we. That's what I
had
should
to
have done.
see.
That's what I should have
Yeah.
done. I guess I'm not.
That was the
tele-
number I was thinking, though, E. Good job.
Wow.
You sort of got it.
Guess I'm not telepathic.
Well, this kid can only read his mom, so maybe you can only read my thoughts.
Could
You want to see the video and see if he's full of shit?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this seems like it'd be easy to rig.
We need a ball check on this kid. Are we
yeah.
sure?
I got here.
I have seen evidence of telepathy in many people.
Meet
Nice statement,
5-year-old
Doc.
Ramses Sanguino. His mother believes he's a child genius.
Dude, and she's trying to make him look like a chick.
She considers him a savant, a rare
savant.
individual who has remarkable talents that defy their age and experience.
Since he was a baby, I think he didn't like toys. He just loved reading books.
That's an old periodic table.
That's right. It's an old periodic table.
Whilst other children his age might just be learning to read, Ramses is apparently able to read in several languages.
Midori, good job.
Why does he have
Eat
chick
first.
hair?
And he can even tackle
That's the weirdest thing about this.
Look how long it is, dude.
Yeah, that looks like a complete
But his
little
mum's
girl.
boldest
Looks
claim
it's like
is that he's
Crystal Gale length.
telepathic, as when she thinks of a number,
It's like
you
sweet
can read
pie.
her
Yeah.
mind.
The answer is 45. Mission 2,
Okay, mission 2.
81. The answer of mission 3 is 99.
99!
God, she couldn't have told
oh my
him that.
goodness!
Yeah.
Congratulations! We have a special connection, a really tight connection.
It's the worst
I think
handwriting
it's a
ever.
wonderful
It's worse than
thing that
these.
he
See her
is-
tits on
Yes,
display?
she
does
loves
some
see it?
telepathy.
If she
But is Ramses telepathic? His talents have drawn the attention of an expert in the field.
Have an
Today
expert
I'm going
in
to
the
go
field.
and see Ramses, who's a 5-year-old autistic boy, and he
if the telepathy
is a very
telepathy
special boy.
only
He
works
has
with him and his
the
mom,
ability
that's
to
the
read
worst.
at least 7
I'd rather not even have it.
languages. He started to read languages when he was 2 years old. He started doing algebra when he was 4 years old.
Algebra at 4.
And on top of that, he actually has demonstrated telepathy.
Dr.
I don't
Diane
doubt that he
Powell
could be a
is
complete
neuroscientist
savant and
who
shit like
studied
that, but the whole telepathy thing.
That's where you're pushing. It does seem probably if he's reading
Yeah, it's
some level of
plausible that he's a freaking
Chinese or-
genius.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, why do we have to jump to telepathy? With only the mom who's
Yeah.
sitting there writing down the words or
He's-
the numbers.
He started reading when he was 12 months old and could even say words in English, Spanish, Greek, and some Japanese. When he was 18 months old, he knew all the multiplication tables in English and Spanish and had learned the periodic table and all the atomic numbers.
How old was he at the time?
18 months.
See, that's impressive enough. If that's true, that's impressive
Right.
enough, Mom.
Run with
Stop-
that, Mom.
Right, stop being selfish.
I taught him some of the languages, but I have no idea how he learned parts of Hindu, Arabic, or Hebrew by the time he was 3. I put him into school, but it was a nightmare. The teacher liked him at first and called him her little professor, or called him the little professor, but soon Ramses started correcting her on some of her spelling and math, and the teacher began isolating him from other students. I had to take. Wait a minute. Wait. So you're telling me you put a 4-year-old in school and he's correcting the teacher on her math and spelling? How retarded is this preschool teacher that
If it's true.
they're misspelling words and struggling with math problems
Dude,
that he needs to be corrected?
I've got some shit from teachers where I've redlined it and given it to Gab as a joke. Like, should I turn this back in?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Where they're struggling with preschool math?
No, not preschool.
But that's the thing, right? This would be math.
I mean, he would have been 3 years old at the
I mean,
time.
they must have been asking 1 + 1.
Right.
And she's screwing it up, and he's got to go tell her that no, 1 + 1 actually equals 2, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Unless you're, who is that? Damn it. Who was the guy who came up with this new math? Remember 1 + 1?
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
necess-
the guy from
the
Empire.
actor. The actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Well,
was,
maybe he was pushing her, like, no, do more complicated stuff, and she was doing it, and she was wrong. I don't
she was struggling. Yeah.
Well, still, I don't think there's a level, unless he was all of a sudden pulling out like college calculus.
He was though. What at 4 he was doing algebra.
Yeah.
So no doubt. Okay. Well, there is a
You know,
doubt, but I'll accept that he's a fucking genius.
Right.
The
Yeah.
telepathy
Sounds like he
thing.
is.
Yeah.
So yesterday we had spontaneous combustion. Today we
Mhm.
have telepathy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not ready to go there yet, but
You know, I would say this actually, when I was about to say that if he started at that age, if he started asking the teacher about algebra and she didn't, dude, I couldn't do algebra right now. If you
No.
put a problem in front
you
of
kidding me?
unless it was literally like 5 + X = 10,
Yeah.
I could figure that X is 5. but
I'm the same way, man. Manny ran way past me in like sixth
yeah, but
grade,
he's
probably.
really good at math.
He is, but
And you
even
stink at math. I mean, like
really
you're
bad.
You're really good at a lot of things, but
Not
you
math.
stink at math. So
Very
do,
much.
so do I. I'm not taking a shot at you
No.
because I stink at math too.
Well, dude, that's why, like, when they do that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And I get it, you know, it's kind of hilarious to, like, these fifth graders know an answer, but with education and how it really is, and how Jay's talked about with the summers even, and we don't have to go all that down that line, but, like, a lot of that stuff, dude, it's, you know it then, and you don't know it, you know,
a week later.
You know, especially
Yeah.
some of those fifth grade questions where it's like, you know, now you're an adult, you don't remember the exact year of some battle that you would have learned right then.
Right. Hey, did you know that Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban can help you buy or sell a home even if you're looking or live far away? Krista can find you an excellent realtor anywhere in the country. Call Krista and she will connect you with the best local realtor for all your real estate needs. Check out her website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900.
Catholic school in Ohio has suspended a 6-year-old boy for 3 days.
Okay.
For pretending to shoot an imaginary bow and arrow during recess. Yeah. The first grader was sent home from Our Lady of Lourdes school in Westwood this week because the school has a zero tolerance policy on threatening gestures, whether real or pretend.
Let me just say this. I came home after dark today from a soccer practice I was running, and I came in and Gab's like, "Where's Manny and Russ?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just walked in." She's like, "It's dark out. I don't know where they are." They left. They had their airsoft guns. They were shooting each other and kids in the neighborhood. And I'm like, huh. So they're running around in the dark shooting each other right now with airsoft guns.
Yeah.
So the notion that a kid could get kicked out of school for pretending to pull back a bow and arrow.
Yeah, careful.
Give me a
I
fucking
saw you
break,
wield
man.
that. Whoa, Clarence, move. Jesus.
If you're not willing to shoot it, don't aim it, right?
That's right. I don't like you. I've got a zero tolerance policy here at Radio for One Studios. I don't want you just
You do?
drawing your invisible bow and arrow.
That is part of little boys' imaginations. Bottom line.
I agree. The child's furious parents say the punishment is excessive and want the school to change its policy. Matthew Meal said his son Malachi Meal.
Malachi.
Come on, man.
Crunch Meal.
Yeah. Has never had a disciplinary issue before. In a post on Facebook, he wrote, "My 6-year-old son took a completely imaginary bow and arrow to school inside of his imagination. This resulted in him being suspended. Meetings with the principal and pastor fell on deaf ears. We were told this cannot be tolerated in the world we live in today. What I find unacceptable is that this school is so scared that they are unable to distinguish between a credible threat and a 6-year-old pretending to be a Power Ranger playing with an imaginary bow and arrow. I don't see anything wrong with the way he was playing. He says that his son had been playing outside when a teacher spotted him and reported him to the principal. The punishment is so severe that is."
Can you imagine taking that information to a principal, like seeing that and going, oh, I have to report this? I've seen little Malachi drawing a false bow in a threatening
going
manner.
like this,
dude,
to another student,
albeit false, but a bow nevertheless.
Yeah. It was clear. He had an arrow as well. So yeah, she reports him to the principal, and the dad is like, "You suspend the kid and kick him out of class for 3 days. I don't even know how to explain this to my child and make this a teachable moment."
Right.
Which honestly, I usually am so cynical and love ragging on these parents for the dumb shit that their kids do in school that they're outraged by. But I absolutely see his point. Like, I don't even know how to make this. How do you justify this sort of sentence to a 6-year-old?
Yeah, so you'd be sitting there, okay, you can't do something threatening. What's that?
Yeah.
Well, it's where you make someone feel like they could be hit or harmed
in any way.
And they're just staring at you like,
would a 6-year-old be able to comprehend that?
They would be able to comprehend, like, we can't hit, we can't pretend to hit somebody. Don't scare them like you're going to hit them or that you're going to shoot them with something. Yeah, I think they could pick that up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'd still just be kind of looking at you cockeyed like, why can't I just pretend I'm doing a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't thinking I would kill that person.
In a letter to the parents, the school principal, Joe Cracchiola, said the school has a no tolerance for any real, pretend, or imitated violence. Recently, there have been some games played during recess time that have involved students pretending to shoot other students. We cannot have this in the school. So yeah,
just common sense is out the window, man. Bright line. They need a bright line.
Yeah, they said pretend playing when we were younger was tolerable. Now it's intolerable. That's who would decide on 3 days too? That just seems like.
Well, I'd be pissed from the standpoint of I'm paying for the schooling. This is a Catholic school.
You're right. Yeah,
I'd boil it down to what it is per day, and I'd demand my money back, man.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
That is truly outrageous. Finally, some parents that are outraged at some school behavior that I agree with. That just seems incredible to me. That's the problem too, is the common sense behind it all, where you're like, really?
Yeah, you can understand the policy to an extent. I mean, if somebody's like, grabbing a kid and pretending to, they got a Glock to their head, bam, 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 constantly doing shit like that, like in an outrageous manner.
Yeah.
Okay. But come on, dude.
Yeah. Kid running around on Reese's. Yeah. Remember the kid, this goes back a couple months, that the dismembered remains of this toddler in Chicago.
Oh, I do. This is the one that perhaps might not have a body.
Right.
This could be the head detective's offspring.
Yes. Well, if you remember, they found like a left foot.
Yep.
And then they found a right foot.
Yep. And a head.
And they found a head eventually. And
they were on the search for the rest of the body. And we kind of threw out there, how do you know there is a rest of the body?
Yeah, maybe he was just a head with like a left and right foot.
Mr. Potato Head kind of look.
Yeah. And but the other disturbing part about that story, if you remember, was they sent out an artist sketch of the head, and which made no sense to me. You actually have the head. So why are we playing this game? Because it was a really goofy,
it was
a terrible artist rendition of this head.
And you were really for just releasing a photo of the head, just saying, hey, who is this kid?
Yeah.
Anybody lost this kid?
Yeah, just hold it by the hair.
Seems reasonable.
And hold the head up to the cameras and run it on the 5 o'clock news.
And then maybe with your other hand, hold the foot in there.
Yeah, you could place it's only a 2-year-old
foot, but that's what we got.
Yeah, we don't have a shoe, but these toes or this head look familiar.
You stick Mr. Potato Head's little cowboy hat on top of him, just insert it.
There you go.
Peg.
Well, he had little dreadlocks too.
True.
So, give you a nice stuff to grab onto as you could hold it up. Does anyone know who this kid is? Instead of playing the game we did where they're doing this stupid sketch. Yeah, it didn't make sense. So anyway, they sent out for DNA on these remains. And the family was notified. They found out the kid's name is Kirian Knox of Rockford, Illinois. The family was notified. A death investigation continues to determine why and how the boy was killed. I'm assuming it probably had something to do with when the head was taken off or the feet.
That would have done it. Unless didn't really have a body, like we said.
Right, but I would still think that if you were just a head with feet, that if you severed the feet from the head, that would still be a problem. Like
probably
that
bleed out.
Yeah, I'm assuming it wasn't. I don't know what. It wasn't a heroin overdose. Let's just say, right?
It's probably safe to assume.
Yeah. So the family's notified. My heart is hurting right now. Kirian's grandmother, Kamisha Harris, told the Chicago Tribune, we're processing the information as a family that we were given today. The family is together and we're trying to wrap our minds around it, or we're trying to wrap our minds over it.
Wrap your minds over it.
Yeah. Not to get, I don't want to
be picky about this.
Yeah. I don't want to be one of those grammatical Nazis.
Trying to picture how you would wrap your mind over
it.
That. I guess it's possible.
Yeah, sure. Potentially they birthed a head with 2 feet. So
anything's possible.
Anything's possible. The boy was reported missing on September 17th. His mother, Lanisha, said she left Kirian with friends while she was moving to a new home and was notified of his disappearance by police. Lanisha said she made numerous attempts to pick up her son from the family that was watching him, yet they always gave her an excuse as to why it was not a good time.
That would be a cause of concern. I'm going to come by and get Russ and Manny. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be over in like 10 minutes. Is that cool? No, you know what?
Yeah.
No, not a good time.
For days. Not a good time.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. No, you know what? I think I'm going to actually come over there and get Russ and Manny. I kind of miss them. You're probably tired of them. You don't want to feed them again. I get it. I appreciate the help. So I'll be over in 15 minutes. Cool?
No, you know what the problem is, Jay? I feel you, but it's just not a good time.
For me.
Yeah, for me. So...
That's crazy,
dude, can I? All right, that's cool. I get it. It's not a good time. Even though I'm driving to you can just leave the kids there. I'll be there in 5 minutes. But can you pop one of them on the phone real quick? Let me just talk to Manny real quick.
You maybe go one night overnight, right? With it's not a great time. We'll just keep them overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Would you really?
Well, if it's a friend,
yeah,
maybe I guess.
We're
going out. We're gonna go to a movie.
No, that's different. I guess maybe if you said, "Well, I'll tell the kid." I didn't know if you were gonna be ready yet, so I told the kids we could go to a movie. Why don't?
But you get into that next day, no way, dude. You'd be like,
yeah,
what's going on?
At this point, I don't trust anyone. I do feel like somebody knows something and they're not saying anything.
Yeah, maybe.
You think? The remains were found on September 5th when a park visitor reported seeing what turned out to be the left foot floating in the lagoon. Wait a minute. So the kid was reported missing on September 17th, and they found the head and the feet September 5th?
Boy, they played that not a good time game for a while.
For
didn't
quite
they?
a while, yeah. For 12 days.
Parents are just like,
dude,
well.
honestly, if I was really convincing, Jay, really convincing, you've known me for a long, long time. How long can I keep your kids and play that game? If I was really convincing.
2 days, maybe.
Maybe 2 days.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, Mike, it's really cool of you, but I'm coming over.
What about the odds that I could just somehow get to 12 days?
No,
Not possible.
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Yeah. So anyway, detectives began culling missing persons reports as they worked to identify the victim. The investigators went to Rockford to collect DNA from Kirian's mother. So obviously when she reported the kid missing, so they start going through records like, where are missing kids? Because they couldn't figure out who this son of a bitch was. And so they get to this woman and they're like, that's how they were able to get the DNA link, which is huge break in this case.
I wonder, had they just held up the head like you said, maybe they solve it quicker.
My God, there he is.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. I'll be damned.
Come here, you. Roll on over here. Get over here, you. Oh, what a brutal story. So now they got to figure out how he died,
Right.
So,
and who done it?
Yeah. So big who done it. And then we got the Taco Bell guy the
Taco Bell exec who had it out on the Uber driver.
Yeah.
You got maced, motherfucker.
Do you feel bad for that dude at all? The drunk guy?
No.
For some reason, I don't know what it is about this story, but there's something so irritating to me about the you got maced, motherfucker guy. I can't stand him.
Get out. It's over. It's over. No, man. Trip's over.
Not to justify the actions of this guy, but he was on NBC this morning.
I think we all can relate to what
CBS.
a bummer that would be.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's over, dude. Just come on, just take me
Dude,
home.
I know.
Fuck, it's park and whatever.
My bad.
Right. We can all relate to that.
It.
So I think that's where your sympathy is coming from.
Yeah. And Benjamin Golden is the guy. He gave an interview to CBS. He admitted to being drunk when he got into Ed Cabin's vehicle. Golden said that he has no memory of his behavior and that it's inexcusable and out of character for him. It's not me in the video. It's not me, while crying. It was hard to watch, and I'm ashamed. I'm not the one to get into fights. I think a lot of people that I know are in shock at what they saw. And then you get into the whole Cabins filing this $25,000 lawsuit plus. That's the minimum. It said he's afraid to see Golden and has no intention of meeting him for an apology. He says it's not him. He says it's not him, but that's the only him I know. That wasn't him, but it was him who had the first drink. It was him who made the decision to go out that night, motherfucker. And in the end, it was him who made the decision to beat me.
I think,
it was an asshole move, no question.
Right.
But it does seem like this driver is bringing his own. I think he doesn't like drinking, so he doesn't like anybody that does or something.
Yeah.
I think you owe it to another human being at least to hear his apology out and gauge whether that's genuine and whether you can forgive him.
Yeah. And some about this seems milking to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And you made a good argument that, dude, he got slapped. I was slapped about the face. Slapped.
You got maced, motherfucker.
There's no doubt he was slapped about the face a few times.
He was pummeled, man.
And his
Real
head
dick
was,
move.
but I mean,
no worse for wear.
So this guy says, obviously he was arrested shortly after the whole macing. That's tough to get over. And so the next day I got out of jail. I didn't know what happened until I saw this video. My heart sank. I've worked so hard. I've tried so hard. And I had a stupid night. It's my fault. I've thrown everything away. I'm going to make it right. And I think that's the only thing I can do. Golden's attorney said Mr. Golden recognizes that despite his level of intoxication, he should have never slapped Mr. Cabin and is extremely remorseful for his actions. We have reached out to Mr. Cabin's attorney in hopes of offering Mr. Golden's apology and deep regret in person. We are awaiting their response. And that's when he's like, I'm afraid of him. He might slap my face. as if the attorneys are going to set a meeting to do a face-to-face man-to-man apology. Dude, I feel awful about this. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm afraid he might slap me.
Be the best thing for your lawsuit if he did. Let him slap you. Throw a camera on it.
And then the whole created a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Which whatever.
Did he pick up his grand?
Well,
only asking for a grand.
He had a goal for 1,000, which he's hit his goal. He made his $1,000 for a number of expenses. I've barely slept since the incident where I was slapped about the face. And I'm suffering.
Drive's over, man. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. No, I've made the decision, man. It's over.
It's over, man.
I already ended the trip.
I already ended the trip. Got to get out of the car. No, got to get out of the car.
Already ended the trip.
Dude.
And that's the
Just
other thing.
take me to 12 and Orchard Lake, bro. Just
you could-
jump out. No, trip's over.
He couldn't just restart the trip. I do get it, but
of course he could.
Dude, the guy was giving him a place at the end there. I mean,
and then I think the irritating part for me is I've become paranoid. I've been having anxiety attacks all day. I have no medical insurance. I'm in desperate need to see a mental health professional, as well as follow-ups with doctors. I no longer feel safe doing my job. I'm also trying to move out of California and back to my home in Seattle after this vicious incident.
He'll have severe PTSD for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Come
on. To me, it's like, dude, yeah, I know. You got bitch slapped a few times. Like, dude, really? What do we need? $50,000? $1 million? What is it worth?
Man. Move on.
Can't accept the apology. I don't know. There's something very irritating about Mr. Cabin.
I'm almost starting to root for the Taco Bell guy now.
I know, because that felt like a genuine apology.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like one of those shitty, like,
yeah. If I hurt his feelings, sorry.
Yeah. If my actions offended him, I'm terribly sorry. Whatever. It felt like a guy that. Because we've been there. I've been that guy before, not slapping somebody about the face over and over, but you've been that guy where it's like, dude, I can't believe I did that last night.
Yeah.
I can't believe did I really just start yelling in Jay's face in the middle of this party? What the fuck was that about? I would never do that. What happened? I don't know, dude. We were talking about the Lions and all of a sudden you just started screaming in my face like a mad fool.
Right.
And you were acting like an asshole in front of me.
I remember that.
That never happened. But
I remember it distinctly.
You would have slapped me about the face.
And you would have deserved it.
Right. So there's some sympathy there where it's like, yeah.
Well, like you said, the driver really
sucks.
The driver's reaction and how he kind of is brings on people, assholes like us to necessarily be like,
Trip's over, man. Trip's over.
Because, dude, I got maced, motherfucker. That is the thing. And you know what? God, the problem is the punching makes it sort of to the point where you cannot completely, you have to understand that it was an asshole thing. But if you take before that, when he finally says, when the guy clearly, yes, he's drunk, but he finally does give an area, the dude could.
Yeah.
At that point, he had not done anything. He hadn't punched him at that point or gotten physical or really said anything negative to him. He really was just like, no, come on, dude. Come on.
Take me like here. I said, we can all identify with the bummer nature of it. But the Uber dude does have a right to be like, I don't want this guy puking in here.
He does.
I mean, he did the whole slide across.
Yeah, he was falling
the other
around.
one.
That is true. And with Uber, as you said the other time, it is your own car. It's not, you're not driving the company's cab car. You're driving your own car.
Yeah. I don't know. I still go back to, and I feel like a broken record, but I still go back to, if you're going to be an Uber driver picking up people from restaurants and bars, not at 2 a.m. even, but especially at 1 a.m, but at any time, you're picking them up at those places for a reason, most likely because they're not in any position to be driving.
Yeah, you got to be understanding of that.
Yeah, it's like they went out of their way. The kid got a DUI in Kentucky a few years ago, so he's obviously, not to make excuses for him, but he's doing something, going, dude, I'm fucked up. I need a ride. And he calls Uber. That's kind of about the bottom you can expect from that guy in that state. It's like, hey, at least he got the Uber driver there,
Right.
So I don't know. It seems like you should be able to put up with a little more abuse. Some guy who won't shut the fuck up is blathering out about nothing. Great, dude. Great.
It's kind of part of the job.
Yeah. Comes with the territory. And then before we get to email, I wanted to do this story about poor Hazel.
What happened?
Well, this Washington teenager and a couple of his buddies kidnapped his own great-grandnana.
Oh, how old?
She's 86.
Young Nana.
And stuffed her in the trunk of her car, her
Whoa.
own car, before going on a 5-hour joyride with Nana bouncing around in the trunk.
Dude. Oh, no.
They threw dirt in Nana's face and terrified Hazel Abel.
I have not seen your Nana this happy in years.
It doesn't sound like it.
Using one of her own aprons to cover her head. They then tied her hands and forced her into the trunk. The 86-year-old said she was only able to escape after the 3 teens stopped at Walmart and she managed to untie her hands.
Imagine a trunk flying open and a Nana popping out.
A great Nana
with her hands abound.
Yes.
Wow.
She was able to untie her own hands, 007 Nana, and pull the ripcord inside the trunk and pop the trunk.
Be damned. What a savvy Nana.
Yeah. And then she ran into the Walmart for help. The victim's own great-grandson, Dylan Martin, who's 16, along with his friend Billy Underwood. Oh, whenever you get Billy Underwood and Dylan Martin together, it's just trouble. It's just trouble.
Of course.
Tag team.
They appeared in court on suspicion of first and second-degree kidnapping, robbery, joyriding, and reckless endangerings. The crimes are of such a serious nature, the teens will be tried as adults. They heard confessions from Martin and Underwood, who said they even considered killing Hazel and setting fire to the car with her body still in the trunk. They had also considered releasing her 3 miles into a canyon or knocking her unconscious before she was able to free herself and escape.
Drive 3 miles into the canyon.
What is she, a dog you don't want anymore?
Oh, poor Hazel.
She'll never find her way home.
Great Nana. Just being left out in a canyon.
Yeah, she's just out there with her little walker and tennis balls.
Oh,
where am I? How did I get here?
Just a wandering.
Oh man, did I do that again? Where did I make a wrong turn? Why am I in the canyon?
She'd be able to see the prints of the walker being pushed across.
Oh, poor great Hazel. Great grand Nana Hazel. A 14-year-old girl is in custody in connection with the crime, a girlfriend of one of the guys. The girl told police that the friends had wanted to run away to Portland, so Martin had suggested they steal Nana's car, which sounds great on paper.
That's not as
fine.
Right,
then what do you throwing? What do you want Nana in the trunk for?
So they kidnapped Nana.
Why?
While
taking her to the ATM or what?
Well, so they kidnapped her while this other 14-year-old girl waited outside. She added that she had opened the trunk slightly during the trip to check to see if Nana was still breathing. Underwood is the girl's boyfriend, claimed that he helped put the apron around the victim's head and tied her hands after Martin threw dirt in her face. So what happened here is they knock on Nana's door, and Nana opens the door. She's like, hello. And they're like, poof, dirt right in the face.
Dirt to the face.
Yes. Because
couldn't he just walk in and start talking to her casually and then someone else
just
take the key?
I don't know, just kind of walk by her, grab the keys.
Well, it was one of those where as soon as she opens the door, you got to dirt face her. So we can blind her and she'll never see it coming. Why would she?
Why would you not just take the car?
Why would she see it anyway? Right, man. I mean, we're talking about a Nana. This is like punching a hole in a paper bag here.
Just tell her, hey, I'm taking the car for a little bit. See ya.
Hey, Nana, chill. Watch your stories.
Be back in the morning.
I love the fact that, like, I forget how old you said these people were, but it seemed the young and the teenage. Right?
You're not 100.
I know she wasn't 100, but these guys, like, it's like you have a girlfriend,
to 16,
right? And you have a girlfriend, and dude, she can't see anything in this and think, okay, yeah, I like this guy, but man, this seems fucked up, dude. Like,
yeah,
the alarm bell didn't go off, the red flag.
Where do you think it's going? Where's the end game?
Young and impressionable, dude. Your peers are everything.
Luckily, I guess I was never cool, so I never had to deal with peer pressure.
Well,
you did avoid that. That's good. You avoided peers
I avoided
altogether.
it via just being a moron.
Avoided the pressure by avoiding peers altogether.
Right.
Well done.
Yeah, never mind. Nothing.
That just seems, I don't know why that makes it seem so much worse and cruel to me. The idea of like knocking on Nana's door and as soon as she opens the door, just dirt face, boom, blind her with dirt face. She'll never see it coming.
Even that, blind her with dirt face, take the keys and leave. Like, why? What do you think she's gonna?
Oh dear!
The effort it took her just to get to the door. She's got her walker turned around, the tennis balls sliding across the floor. She's making her way. She's made. Oh, who's here? Oh my goodness! Some youngsters here to visit me. She opens the door and then like,
dirt face, boom, instant dirt face. As soon as
that's a dynamic to the story that makes it just awful.
The visual, The picture it paints is criminal. It's horrible.
But even then, so you dirt face her, take the car, and then just call a few days. She's not going to remember.
Right.
She's going to wake
Leave
up
her in her
hours
home.
later, not know why she got there. Probably
Let
just
Nana
thought,
be.
Right. She won't even understand how she got
won't
where she
miss
is.
the car. She doesn't need the
Well,
car.
no, even call her on the phone a few days and just say, "Oh, this is make up some stupid like one of those guys that with the overseas. Just scam her."
Right, be a Nigerian prince.
Dude.
You know what's remarkable about this story though? She has a late enough model car to have one of those straps in the trunk.
Why do they not
believe that?
You'd think Nana would have like a 67, Studebaker or something, or a
Grand Marquis.
42 Mercury.
I've never even known a car that had that.
Yeah, the new
Yeah,
ones
the
have
new ones
them.
Do they really inside of it?
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
for just that purpose, a trunked Nana.
So as soon as she gets dirt faced, she feels her eyes being covered and her mouth with her hands. So someone covers her mouth. Yeah.
Stink hand.
And then they pushed her to the ground. She felt her hands being taped together and something being stuffed in my mouth. And before her head was covered with her own apron. And then the great grand Nana was walked to her own car in her garage before she was lifted up gently and placed into the trunk of her own
Why?
car.
Leave Nana alone.
And then driven around for 5 hours, just bouncing around the truck. Imagine Nana, who's first off been viciously dirt faced, and then
And
immediately.
why was she dirt faced? It's so unnecessary.
Imagine this though. You're dirt faced, but at the same moment you're dirt faced, someone's tying your hands, so you can't even rub your eyes away. You can't even clear the dirt
Trying to
out of the
blink 'em out.
passages.
Blink them out.
Yeah. And then you've got an apron over your head. You're bouncing around in a trunk. You'd have to be just
Your favorite apron.
How did I get here?
you're just wailing. These guys, 16-year-old at the wheel, driving like a turd. And so you got dirt face and you're bouncing around the trunk of your
How
own
old was she?
damn car.
92, you said?
86.
86.
You're not
Dude, at 86, wouldn't you just be sitting there going, this is happening in my life?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like, oh my.
I never envisioned it ending this way.
So yeah, they stop and they go into this Walmart to buy toiletries. I don't know what that means.
What? This is a horrible plan.
And then they freak out. All of a
Dude,
sudden,
you
kids
gotta,
on meth or what?
why are they got 5 hours, dude? You just kidnapped an old lady and you're in a car. Book
after
it as-
dirt facing
you
her.
need to get on the road, man. What are you stopping and getting
Toiletries. Why do you care about toiletries at this point?
some Kleenex and stuff? I mean,
And
Your
then imagine
toothbrush?
their horror. They're sitting in Walmart, and all of a sudden, here comes Nana bursting through the door.
There they are.
And-
there they are. He's
No,
got
they-
Howard the Walmart greeter with her in a blue smock.
These guys are carrying toiletries, and they come around the corner and they see Nana talking to an employee, and it's like,
shit.
"Fuck, run!" And they just take off running.
oh, that's not suspicious.
And so Nana, they're able to track them down through surveillance in the store and bust these guys. So they're trying them as adults. But yeah, the neighbors were growing suspicious too, because they're like, why is Nana's garage door open? Which they didn't close. Why is Nana's car gone? They're like, listen, great grand Nana leaves for very small amounts of time. She goes to the corner store and back,
Right.
and she
Like
goes to
once a month.
she goes to the hair salon occasionally.
Gets her hair did.
That's it. And so when they saw Nana's garage door wide open and the car gone for 5 hours, they were like,
They knew
something's
something
going
was
on.
awry.
Something's up with Hazel. I hope she didn't get dirt faced.
And that's
Was
what
the immediate thought I would have.
all they had to do
That's
is
your
close
worst
the garage.
nightmare.
Absolutely.
If they close the garage door, even these people don't get
How about they
suspicious.
just don't take Nana?
I know.
Just leave her or bind her up so she can. How about pull the plug out of the damn rotary phone she has?
Yeah.
And
Take
what's
the
she gonna
tennis balls off the front of her walker.
do? She's going nowhere.
Nowhere. She's stuck.
Throw her stories on. Sit her in her potty chair.
Yep.
Be done with
Easy.
it.
Easy. Anyway, poor Nana. And then it's your own grandson.
What a dick.
Yeah. I hope they throw the book at these guys.
We do have some email.
What do we got?
Kyle Mayer writes in, our new sponsor, accountant, and to let Biggie know that he can in fact have 10% off.
Nice.
If he
Oh,
too
good.
would like to take advantage of Kyle's accounting services.
Nice.
Feather Joe writes in on Facebook. King, I almost emailed the other day when you and the boys ventured into Superheroville on episode 458. Joe's a superhero geek.
Oh.
Especially since I have warned you in the past about poo-pooing on said genre. So it was nice to see some fellow comic book geeks attempt to set you straight on episode 459. However, I don't think the message is sinking in because you still refer to Robin as a less than desirable pussy superhero. Look, I get it. It's quite obvious that you're hearkening back to Burt Ward's portrayal of Robin.
It goes without saying.
From
If
the
we're
old
talking
school
about it,
Batman show.
Yeah, it's Mr. Ward for sure.
Yeah, we're just picturing him in his little panties.
Yeah, his man panties.
So yes, that
with
Robin,
an R on his chest.
Yes,
Yeah.
that Robin and his Daisy Dukes would be considered a flaming homo of a superhero. But generally speaking, the current Robins are vicious little sons of bitches. The same could be said for Aquaman. But since a fellow listener educated you on the subject, I'll just ask you this. Please reserve judgment on Aquaman until after his big screen debut in Batman v Superman.
I can't wait.
I didn't either.
I didn't, and I don't care.
I think this portrayal just may surprise you. So in closing, you need to clarify that Etard wants to be the Burt Ward Robin, or better yet, just call him Gleek.
I don't want to be
You
any of
nailed
those
that one.
things.
No, you're
I don't-
Gleek.
I don't
You're
care.
Gleek.
Gleek's
It's
not bad, dude. Of all the
Gary,
ones we
Ace,
picked-
or Gleek. Pick one.
Yeah, Yeah,
None of the above.
Well,
Gleek. A-Dub writes
we'll
in.
assign you one, and Jay just did.
On the subject of comics, A-Dub writes in. By the way, he does a comic book. It's pretty sweet, actually.
He does?
Yeah. One of our listeners, the Space Yeti. How sweet is that?
Damn.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Hi
That is
guys,
pretty cool.
Friggin' great show Thursday. Way to break Biggie's brain. That was fucking hilarious. Myself and a fellow art school buddy are both comic book artists and will be doing the Motor City Comic Con promoting our books again this coming May. By the way, Don and Christina, the raccoon costume people that we talked about yesterday, are actual readers of our comic. You should see some of the other crazy shit they design and make for these conventions. Anyway, I had talked to Eric at the Massey show about being a guest of ours at the convention this coming year, 2016.
Oh, geez.
And he seemed down for that, but also seemed
that'd be
as drunk
sweet.
as I was.
That
Yeah.
would be cool as shit, man, to go to Motor City Comic Con.
Oh yeah, no, I was just worried what I said when he asked me at Massey. That's what I was more.
You were
Oh, you're
great.
old.
You were fine at
No,
Massey.
no, I know.
It's in Novi, by the way, Motor City Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's definitely plan on having you go to that.
I wouldn't
If
mind
not
going to
us.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I like to as well.
Good people
Yeah.
watching for if anything.
Oh,
else.
dude. Yeah, those things are huge.
Well,
huge.
Look up the date, will you?
I will.
I'd still like to extend the offer and look at setting something up with you guys. It'd be sweet to show him around and even take him to the after party for all the comic guests and celebs. Oh, after party at Comic Con. You know the shit that goes on there, dude.
Laminates-y,
Wonder Woman,
laminates.
Lasso.
Huh?
I'd be all right with that.
Can we dress him up in his Binks outfit?
Misa love Comic Con. Yeah.
Dude, you gotta go as Binks. I mean, you don't want to wear that costume just once for the premiere of Star Wars.
Misa love to dress as Jar Jar Binks.
Shit, I got
Here's what we got to do, Jay. If he's got a connection to that girl, the woman that makes those
The
costumes,
raccoon, yeah.
let's see if she's got time to whip together a sweet Binks outfit for E.
She seems to have some time on her hands, Mike.
Yeah,
Got to be honest.
and she's talented. If we could make you a killer Binks
And the
outfit,
great
E,
thing is he already has the facial features and body type for Binks.
Yeah.
All you need to do is put some big ass floppy ears on it, pretty
Absolutely.
much.
Oh my God.
Misa love dressing as Jar Jar Binks and going to Comic Con.
Oh no,
dude, it's gonna be sweet.
I've attached a couple sample pages of the book so you know what kind of nerds he'll be dealing with. Yeah, thanks for a great show, Fukfase's later A-Dub.
I actually do remember talking to somebody about Comic Con, so that actually doesn't.
Yeah, so that
doesn't
rings
come-
a bell,
it
so to
does.
speak. Eric, please don't eat another gummy bear, says
Oh.
A-Dub. Stick to the bag of dicks.
Yes, never again.
So yeah, the Space Yeti. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mark writes in, subject, hot pork sandwich in an ashtray. Oh,
What was that supposed to be that you were talking about?
It was a reference.
I don't
yeah.
know what it was.
How would you like a nice greasy pork
Yeah,
sandwich
I don't
served in
remember
a
what-
dirty ashtray? It's Chet, dude, from Weird Science when,
Okay.
when Wyatt comes home 3 sheets to the wind
Okay.
and he realizes he's drunk, so he immediately blows cigar smoke in his face. He's
Gotcha.
trying to get him to Ralph. It worked, says Mark. The hot pork sandwich in a dirty ashtray made him puke. What is the origin of this? I just explained it. I must have been 12 or 13, early 80s when my friend told me about this. I can still remember exactly where we were traveling in a parent's car, passing by Yates Cider Mill. Over the years, I've mentioned it, also tried it on drunk friends with no success. Your delivery was perfect. I'm most certain.
Yeah, I think that must have been what made me puke.
I'm most certain it hit at a subconscious level 30 seconds after Ralph. By the way, Big E sounds so gay sometimes. I find myself shaking my head thinking, man, this guy's a fag.
That seems like an unnecessary cheap shot at the end of that
Yeah.
email. I got to be honest. Like it was going in one direction, and then boom. Oh, by the way, in case you hadn't realized, E's kind of a fag sounding. Like that just seemed like it didn't. It should have been said maybe in a separate email. It didn't need to be said in that one.
Just a tangential thought.
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud.
It was a PS that didn't need to exist.
Well, maybe. Dave writes in, I think I really like Big E High. He seems to be less stressed out.
For 3 minutes,
I think that's the thing. I think there was when I was in the good part. Yes, probably, because I do remember kind of being like, "Hey, whatever," you know.
None of it was a good part for us, though.
Yeah,
you know that, right? It was all like
disjointed ridiculousness.
I know, but I mean, for me though, I did have a period of small time when it was fun.
Jeremiah on Facebook queried, "Did Eric eat some THC or TCG or both?" Well put, Jeremiah.
One of those.
Steve writes in, Big E High guy, just fucking wow. Never laughed so hard in my life as I'm listening to Mike say he's fine. I'm still gleaming. I believed he said sorry approximately 50 times, said what? Another 20. While reading the GLV ad, he said they're handmade in a question form. My favorite though, too much, just too much. Remember saying that?
Yes.
Too much, just too much.
That's too much.
You remembered too much of last night. You shouldn't remember all of that.
I feel like I remember pretty much all of it. I think there was spaces where I passed out for
You have a weird savant-like quality with your memory. Like there are, like
I don't
to
think
me,
have you said anything to me from the night that I didn't remember? I don't think I've remembered everything you said.
That's not unique to you because there are 1,000 times when we're like, did we talk about that? Or did we? And Jay and I will look at each other and be like, did we talk about that? Or do you remember this story from 6 months ago? And he'll be like, yeah, we totally did. We talked about that and that, not the episode, but he remembers. I'm not even kidding. If we have any question about, was this story ever talked about on our show? We can go to Ian. He'll absolutely.
Like, absolutely it was.
No,
yes.
Didn't happen. We did not talk about, I know for a fact, because around that time we were talking about this and that didn't happen.
I know, it's really
weird, dude.
It's weird that I can forget things. My short term is god awful.
Like if you quizzed me right now, I'd probably get like 80% of the stories we talked about tonight.
But see, I probably
like if you quizzed me.
But you know though, Mike, I couldn't do it right now. It will be if you ask me in 3 or 4 days from now, then it's like I can remember it. If you ask me right now,
that's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
I'm really losing interest fast, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I've been talking. It's you guys the ones talking. I haven't said almost anything during this.
Really?
Really.
I always record the show the next day, but was very, very lucky to have watched all the Periscope vids and comments, says Steve. You guys made a great advertisement for Periscope. I've never heard of them now. I await the next Big E adventure.
Jeez, I set the bar too high then with the original.
You guys had me laughing since late last night and currently tonight. Love you guys. Well, the show at least. Bye. Ciao. Make it a great day. Stevie B. Thank you, Steve. Carrie writes in. A non-listener writes in. Carrie. Yeah.
Why would a non-listener write in?
Listen up. Good morning to the Detroit Cast. I just wanted to send a quick message to tell you all, or to say thank you for your show. I will be 100% honest and say I've never listened to your show. Don't take offense, though, but with 3 little boys, I'm not sure some of the content would be suitable for their little ears based on some of the stories my husband has shared with me. Smiley face! However, my husband listens to you each and every day on his awful commute to and from work. I really do appreciate you guys doing whatever it is that you do because it takes his mind off the stress of work for a little bit.
Good.
And I do believe he even chuckles a few times out loud. I'm sure this is probably the strangest email you've ever received. But anyway, I just wanted to pass along that I appreciate what you do because it makes my husband happy. So thanks. Have a great day, Carrie. Well, I wish Carrie was hearing this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carrie, for thanking
she
us.
isn't, so I can say whatever she wants. You better be hot.
Yeah, she probably is. She sounded hot.
No, that's
she
cool.
Sounded hot.
It's cool to see. I think that's actually more cool than the guy writing in because it's cool to see a spouse say, "Hey, my husband has a shitty, commute, and this really helps him out," and that I like that as a spouse.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if she gave us a shot, though.
I do agree.
Check this out for a second,
or at least subscribe on her phone just so it looks like she is.
Right.
Absolutely. It's the least she could do.
It's all about the numbers.
Let's check out the website. I don't know.
Yeah.
Poke around, read a bio.
Yeah.
Read a bio.
Read something.
Yeah, click-throughs. We're looking for click-throughs, right?
Looking for click-throughs.
If she really wants to pay us back, she could
shop via Amazon, our link on Amazon.
She could do that. She could visit Kyle and get her
Her
taxes done. She could go buy a
to
new
hell and
house.
get divorced from her damn husband.
Absolutely,
I
and
do
then
not
reconcile
know.
with him,
She
and
could.
then put it back together. She'll have to pay for it, but you know, it'd be worth it. You know, he found love again. She could take up smoking and then quit with a Great Lakes Vapor.
Yeah.
There's lots of things she could do.
Shane writes in,
Buy a car.
Shane writes in, Mike Massey, Nothing Compares to You just showed up on Spotify. I looked everywhere for that after the short tease from in studio. So awesome. You know what? It's on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Is it?
He released it, I think,
It was
like
that.
a
Do
week
you,
ago.
do you remember that day? 'Cause unless he, I don't know if he said it to you that night, but he said it to me before you guys had got there when he was setting up and I was helping him with something that.
Oh yeah, we talked about it
that
at
he-
dinner too.
Okay.
Yeah, he felt comfortable enough that Prince wasn't going to come after him with his big platform boots and try to kick his ass.
Yeah, didn't he say as long as he thought
Not-
his out was
right.
if he wasn't making profit off it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but I didn't know that he'd released it. It's an amazing cover. It's a great cover.
It is.
It's a great song.
Shane also says, and the Chiefs should beat the Lions like that every time. LOL. Lifelong Kansas City fan. Just wanted to stick up for my boys. What if he's a Royals fan too? Must
Oh,
be
yeah.
nice. Keep up the good work and get better, Eric. I'll come be an idiot for $1 less. Just joking, E. Oh, well, we have a replacement for E should he die. Shane, I'll keep that email.
Put that in the file.
Do it for $1 less than E.
The Biggie, the
I wonder how
Biggie
long-
death
I wonder how
file is
long
getting
that would-
big.
I wonder how long that would last.
What?
You know,
Some
$1
dude
less.
filling in.
No, for him. How long
Yeah.
he would do it. Does he have a real job that he would have to get to? I mean, there's a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
factors in here. Does he have a family?
That sounds like a
You
him
kinda-
problem.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sought after position you hold, E. I mean, you know, don't
I would
sell
love
that
to see
share
some
short.
interviews. Bring me in. I'll sit
Yeah.
in on the interviews.
Want to hold the interview for your
Yeah.
replacement?
Yeah.
Prove that you're as good as me. So I see here that it says you're really good at talking into a microphone. Prove it. Could you care to elaborate, please, for the record?
Officer,
So, do you have a nana? And how old is this said nana?
Does she have a lightning bolt snatch? Do you wash her at a coin wash?
Does she have an
See?
01
They might not-
tattooed on her ass
They
cheeks?
might not have these things.
yeah, might be a really boring dude. with
Right.
no
Jay, Mike, I've
character.
got to tell you, I don't think this guy's qualified. His nana doesn't even have an 01 tattooed on her ass cheeks. Next! I said next!
I would like to someday.
Have you at
interview
any
somebody
time
for a
thought about
job
looking
position.
at the moon, sir? Have you ever looked at the moon and thought of another man, sir? Next!
That for real? That might be.
Not
on my,
going to make the cut, sir. I'm sorry.
That may be on my list of goals at one point to be able to sit down for an interview a prospective work person.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, sir?
Can you imagine just coming in cold, not knowing his personality at all? He's sitting in on an interview as like one panelist.
Yeah.
And you're being asked like serious shit by two people. And then my man chimes in with something like that. And you're like, fuck.
I'll wear a tie and shit, so I'll make it look like it's perfect. So he'll think that
Yeah.
like I'm
some sort of pro.
Like I'm with you guys on an equal level. And
Have you ever looked at the moon while thinking of another man with a tear trickling down your cheek, sir?
No further questions.
Jay, do you have anything further to add?
Officer Frank.
God, that voice is hard to do.
Officer Frank follows up his message from yesterday. Hey, Officer Frank, following up on yesterday. To Mike on the point of using discretion and advising people walking in the street. So, of course, this is the walking while black issue. Most of the time in my beat, it's a friendly get out of the street, please, over the loudspeaker, or the old pull alongside to once again nicely advise them to get out of the road. Most comply, but the fucking joggers / runners are always the ones to throw a fucking tantrum. Like
Really?
Big E probably would. Go
No.
figure. Please remember, as trivial as it may seem, Officer Darren Wilson of the Ferguson, Missouri Police Department was initially dealing with the Michael Brown walking in the roadway.
Yep.
Officer Frank, over and out. Over and out. I like that.
Yeah.
Travis writes in on cleanup. What up, freaks? The police, more specifically crime scene investigators, give you a list of names and numbers of cleaning crews that specialize in messy death cleanups.
Oh,
yeah.
2 weeks ago, my friend from church found her husband with 2 gunshot wounds to his head.
Jesus.
Oh.
The police came and did their investigation, ruled it a suicide. Then gave
Wait, what?
I know.
With 2?
Uh-huh. Maybe it was a 22 or something.
Or a pellet gun.
Yeah, well, basically.
Yeah.
Glorified pellet gun. Bounces off the skull. He's got to put another one through there.
Oh, that's brutal.
The police came and did their investigation, ruled it a suicide, then gave her a list of companies that specialize in cleaning up after incidents such as this. We called Company X, and they showed up within an hour or two. They don't just shake your hand and wish you luck. They help as much as they can. Obviously, this differs slightly between departments. I know this to be true because I was called to provide emotional support hours after the incident. Oh,
wow.
Sorry to hear that, Travis. That's awful.
Yeah.
And then I thought I pulled another one.
It's a real Travis, D.
Wow.
You were saying?
Yeah. There was another guy. We lost a listener today because of E.
What?
It was another cop who was like, he hated us all, mostly me and E, though.
Yeah. That happens.
Wow. I mean, because you don't just sit here and assume that cops are always right when you see videos like that we see sometimes.
Yeah,
I guess he won't hear this now.
Let me see if I can find it. Well,
he quit the show, you sons of bitches?
Yeah, so he's not hearing this because he quit, but best wishes. I mean, I'll try to find it for Monday.
I kind of want to hear. I know. I kind of want to hear it. And
well, that's too bad. I was still on his side.
No, you didn't defend him strong enough or something. I don't know. I'll find it.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it on Monday. We have gone late. Yeah. Have a good weekend, everybody. I guess we'll call it a day there. We're good. Anyone need to say anything? Are you doing any stand-up or anything? No. Okay.
Come on, Amazon link. We're right around the corner from the holidays. What a great way to support us.
That's right.
Use that shit. You're going to be buying up tons of shit in the next 2 months.
Please do.
Don't be a dick. Use it.
And have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to that one.